Did you see his pin, by the way? His little pin he's wearing?
Where'd you get the pin from?
The gas station. That wasn't even on Route 66, but I thought we were, so.
He's like, is this Route 66? I'm like, no.
No, it's Highway 40.
I learned that.
Dang.
Route 60. You a big Cars fan?
I was.
The movie Cars?
Yeah, I was a big fan, but I grew out of it.
My son's big into cars.
Oh, yeah.
You talking about the cartoon?
Yeah, Route 66.
Oh, I thought we were talking about like
is a big
American
deal.
Muscle cars.
No. This is kid stuff.
Okay.
Cars, Disney,
Yeah, okay.
Lightning McQueen,
Yeah.
Vader.
Which is perfect because some of those areas in Utah, like Cedar area, like when I drove through, I was like, this is freaking Radiatorville, whatever it's called.
Radiator Springs.
Get
Get it right, bro. Come
Sorry.
on.
No shit. We went through Radiator Springs.
No,
No.
we got to take you somewhere else. We got to take you to Utah.
Well, we went to Los Alamos anyway, so that was a win.
It was a weird place.
Real weird. Yeah. I'm seeing all sorts of America. This trip.
Weird place. You know Los Alamos? We had to drive through Los Alamos. You know it? Oppenheimer.
Oh, okay.
So it's weird. Met a really nice dude, like super nice. Guy's name was Moss.
Shout out Moss.
Yeah, shout out Moss. The guy he's awesome stud. Got a cool little dog. But we pulled up to a trailhead and he did as well. And we just started asking him questions. He was local there when he was a kid. Family, mom and dad are there. And so Omar asked him, like, hey, what was it like to grow up here? He's like, weird. Just the first word he said. Weird.
That's always really interesting when
It's
someone
like
says that.
I'm a lab baby. My parents work in the lab. I was one of those babies. So we started asking him questions, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't really know exactly what my dad does, but like, all I know is they built the Mars rover. They built Fat Man and Little Boy there.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I should know this because my minor is history, but like the atomic bomb that was dropped on Japan.
Yeah, Fat Man, Little Boy.
Yeah, but then there's a name for the atomic bomb that they tested.
Oh.
I know it was the Trinity
Project.
And then I can't remember the name of the bomb that
And they dropped the
into
bomb
Mexico.
on the White Sands.
Yeah.
Out there. But like Los Alamos is where it's a lab town. It's like you go through. I thought I was going through a toll road because we were driving through the night, which we'll get into the story, but we were driving from Omar's hunt to mine, and we had to go through Los Alamos. And I'm like, this is weird. Toll road out of nowhere. Usually Apple Maps will tell you toll road.
Yeah.
And I pull up. I'm like, what do you need? He goes, just ID. I'm like, huh? What is this? So I go, it's DOE, And so I show him my thing. He goes, his first time through, I said, yeah. He goes, head straight, no camera. Don't turn left. Don't turn right. Just go straight through Go straight through the next 4 lights.
What time of night is this?
Midnight.
Like midnight, yeah.
Oh, wow. So, okay.
And he's like, yeah, just, a lot of security. Just don't look left. Don't look right. Just dead straight. Next 4 lights. Like, okay.
Do you get a police escort for this? Or what?
Yeah, I'm like, this is weird. Why are you letting me in if this is what the protocol is? And then we started talking and, hit a ridge with some service. He Wikipedia'd Los Alamos. And after talking to Moss, we're like, dude, this place is crazy. And then we got up on the ridges and we got up on you could drive this highway. We got up on this ridge and glassed back down into Los Alamos. There's some wild shit out there.
Yeah.
A lot of like airplane hangar looking things, but no airplanes.
So everything's underground.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you. I don't know if we were supposed to look back, but we did.
And I think that was the only highlight.
Redacted. We just redacted that whole section.
Yeah, we'll cover up this whole section. But we glassed back into Los Alamos. Not sure if that's legal. But like there's a whole lot of like airplane hangars, but no runways, no airplanes. Weird. Weird place.
Dang.
It's crazy. They do have a street named Oppenheimer.
Really?
Yeah, it's where the McDonald's was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Oppenheimer Drive.
Yeah.
Or was it Boulevard?
Boulevard, maybe.
Cam was begging us for McDonald's, and we were like, fuck no. Nope.
So
It's
instead,
an American tradition,
That's
right?
where he wanted to go. We're like, no, dude.
so
We don't
we
eat
were
that
allowed
shit.
shitty snacks from this little gas station. I wasn't allowed a cheeseburger, but I was allowed some like fake bacon crisps or something.
Fake. I got no man's land jerky, super clean jerky, and I got cashew organic nuts, clean as it gets.
I might have got Doritos.
Of course you did.
Well, we should announce Cam over there.
Yeah,
So
we'll let everyone know.
we got Cam Henderson, right?
That's the one.
That's the one and only. I've had we've had some good times the last week. You've been hanging out at the GOHUNT office for quite a while.
Yeah, it was actually pretty unexpected to turn up here. The plan was to get in there, film a hunt, and then actually, I did actually have a week to kill, so I'm glad I had somewhere to stay.
Yeah, so you guys just got back from what sounds like a pretty awesome elk hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Half awesome, half shit.
Okay, half awesome, half shit. I like that.
Reflecting now, yeah. It was awesome, but half shit.
Okay, are we going to spoil it right off the bat of what happened to Omar? Or we just want to get into some crazy details on maybe day by day? Because it's pretty awesome what happened to Omar.
Yeah, that was incredible. Should we get into it? I mean, we're making a film on it. That's why Cam's here. Cam's our cameraman. Cam filmed the whole thing. We're going to film a scene today with Cam to do a hunt film a little different. I'm tired of the rinse and repeat shit that we've been doing.
I saw some of his footage. It was pretty crisp.
It was awesome. Yeah, Cam's a stud.
G. Cam's a G. I want to talk more about Cam.
I know, I agree.
I got kind of. I saw the clips of his shorts. Hiking around in those nasty deadfall timber with shorts, and how scarred up his legs were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I was explaining to these guys, is if you have a look at Lorenzo's legs, they're also beaten up. So I think we were just all getting beaten up in that.
But why shorts?
Deadfall. They're just more comfortable. Like nothing beats when we were like lying in the sun.
Yeah.
And you just got the sun on your legs, you got the breeze going through your sack, like everything gets aired out.
just straight through with the sack out there.
Did we mention he's from New Zealand?
Yeah, he's from New Zealand.
Yeah, and have you got a button for when I swear?
No, you can say fuck, shit, piss, whatever you want.
Okay, all right. Well, damn.
Yeah, that's where we draw the line.
I think we made it far enough in where he can start swearing now. We're not.
Yeah. Well, I already did too.
Oh, geez. Swear jar. Where is it?
I know. But Cam, so we're gonna film this hunt, right? Omar and I,
full on GOHUNT original.
Yep, full on GOHUNT original. And this was really early on. Omar had the tag, and I'm like, cool, let me see if I can get a tag in there. Couldn't, so we had to hunt two completely different tags, completely different places. But Omar had a tag in a place that I had been to 6 years ago. And he's never killed a big game animal. Bears don't count, so don't even try to say that you killed a big game animal.
Yeah, tell it to Brady. This is a perfect debate.
Remember,
Bears, hold on.
I'll let you go first.
Hold on.
And then let me go afterwards. I get a chance.
You guys are like mainstream media. You're going to take what I just said and take it out of context. Let me give you the full clip of what I think. Bears start to count when you've killed an elk, a deer, and those things. But like bears are a filler to a big game, right? Gosh. They're a big game, but they don't have antlers, they don't have horns. They're a filler. They're a fill-in animal. It's like a turkey. Okay. It's like a fill-in animal. It does count as big game, but not until you start stacking up big game. Until you know what I mean? It's like there's a weird nuance with.
What about the way that I hunt them? Just go steep and deep, and you're grinding, you're backpacking, you're doing it right, you're glassing. It's struggle every day. You're picking off 30 ticks off you.
I know you. You would not count a bear as your first big game animal.
That's a good question.
You wouldn't count that as your first big game.
Yeah, it usually is antlered. You are kind of correct there, but.
It's a hard hunt.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's a phenomenal animal, no joke, but this is not an antlered animal.
I just don't think it could qualify as my first big game animal.
So my first big game animal we talked about before, I shot a whitetail when I was 14 years old with my bow. Yeah. Shot a 3x2 whitetail buck.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be more badass though if I said, hey, I was 14 years old up in my tree stand, bear came walking out, and I shot a bear with my bow?
No, not cool.
Wouldn't be cool?
No, not for me. Not for me.
to be able to say, like, how many people though have shot a bear as their first big game animal? That's pretty cool. It's pretty
I'm
cool.
not sold.
I mean, yours is a 200-inch mule deer. So
mine was just wild blind luck.
Okay, but I wanted to say though, when you said that, and yes, I'm going to take what you said out of context and make a clip that makes it seem like you hate bears. but remember after we talked about the bear podcast, we did the 2-part episode.
Yeah.
I had convinced you that bear hunting does sound pretty fun.
I agree as a filler.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Is it wrong for me to say that I'd probably rather bear hunt than elk hunt?
Yes. It's unbelievably wrong.
Okay,
wildly wrong.
Write that down.
I'm not writing that down. Wildly wrong.
All right.
So anyways, Omar has never killed a big game animal until we're going on this hunt. Not only that, he's never drawn his bow back on a big game animal. He's been on big game hunts. You hunted Colorado deer, tried to weekend warrior, all that stuff. Got close, whatever, but never drew his bow back on an animal.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, just thinking this would be awesome. I'll take
phenomenal hunt.
Yeah, I took Scotty on his. I am in the point in my life hunting career where I genuinely enjoy taking other people hunting. It's like one of my favorite things to do.
Yep.
And I honestly get more pumped up in those settings than I do for myself because I want it so bad for them and it's out of my control. So it makes me get more amped up and I take it more serious. And I love
the
it.
adrenaline rush of watching someone else do it is unbelievable.
Yeah. And so I'm at that stage in my hunting career. So I'm like, you know what, Omar, I'll take you.
So you're kind of taking one away from me though.
What do you mean?
Because I took him in the spring for his first big game hunt, and he was successful.
All right, we'll quit splitting hairs here. His first archery big
There
game.
There we go.
We'll quit splitting hairs because we're going to both agree to disagree.
I feel bad for bears right now.
We're going to agree to disagree this whole time. So we'll just amicably decide that first archery big game. Never drawn his bow back. So I'm like, you know what? This is awesome. I love that place. I love that tag. I'll go with you. So that's what we started to draw up was this plan of us going to New Mexico and, just him and I have been shooting bows and all this stuff and getting ready. And I'm, just every once in a while handing down little things like, hey, this is what you're going to want to focus on. When that animal walks in, right? Like take your eye off the bow. Don't go straight into the peep sight. Get a full sight picture, understand your shooting lanes, then settle into your bow, kind of telling them those things we're shooting out in the desert. And then our cameraman falls through. We're like, shit, we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Then we come across Cam.
Which actually started from this podcast.
Yep.
That you were doing with Luke. And I was listening to it because Luke's a good buddy of mine. And you guys were talking about how you struggle with cameramen. So I gave Luke a call and I was like, what are you doing for GOHUNT this year? And he said he was a bit booked up. And I was like, can you ask them if they've got anything available for me?
Luke Duesenberry, what a gem.
Yeah, that's the one.
So how do you two kind of know each other?
It sounds a little gay when you say it out loud, but we've been talking online for years, just about hunting, filming, all of those bits and pieces. And then last year, I just wanted to come to the States and see what it was about. So Luke said that he was hunting from the start of September, and I was like, I'll come over and join you for a couple of weeks. And that was the first time that we'd actually met person to person. And we just had a blast and then took off back to NZ and we just carry on like usual, catching up. And
I think there is that connection with photographers and film people on the internet. They're all willing to help each other out, which is really cool. It's a really tight knit community.
Yeah, similar to hunters.
It's very, very similar.
You meet a real hunter, yep, I'm willing to help.
Yeah, if you're back there with me at the same time, we're going to talk. We could be best friends now because you are here and we're going to help each other.
Yep.
And so I think the same thing in your world.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
And what I was laughing about is the gear that us cameramen use is so different because, you've got millions of hunters here. You guys are always talking about the little details that you're using, but I've only got so many cameramen to talk to. So we're all still trying to figure this shit out as well. Turns out, maybe my tripod is a bit too big. And, all of those small details.
17-pound tripod?
Yeah.
Is that why you left it at my house?
No, I just forgot about that.
Okay. I was like, maybe Cam's getting rid of it.
But it's not surprising. You spend 24 hours with Cam, it's not surprising the connection came through Luke.
Yeah.
Because they're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
From different places, wildly different places. But dude, just absolute savages when it comes to willing and able to film some crazy shit, And they're cut from the same cloth. It felt like we were out there with Luke again.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
But, sorry, that's how I came about.
Yeah. So we found you and we're like, okay, wheels back in motion. I go down with a crazy emergency surgery.
Yeah. So what's the timeline of you had a camera guy, you lost the camera guy, you got Cam?
Is
this like a month before your hunt?
Dude, it happened fast.
Yeah. So it was tight.
It was tight. It was like drop out, meet Cam, go down, meet Cam again. Okay, things are still rolling. I should be able to go on this hunt.
Because all your stuff that happened to you.
Plans were in wild flux. Yeah. And we made the most of it and had a chat on Google Hangout with Cam, and we're like, cool, this is going to work. He was in New Zealand still. That was post him hanging out with Luke, right? We had that chat on Google Hangouts.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it was like pretty close to the hunt, telling him just kind of our ideas and thoughts and storylines and all this stuff. So hadn't met Cam other than that Google Hangout. We pull into New Mexico. He's picking Omar. We drove separate just because of my hunt. Well, I was thinking we wanted 2 separate trucks just in case.
Smart.
So we drove separate, and I drove straight through and got to the hotel, got us checked in to overnight there. Omar went and picked up Cam at the airport. So I still hadn't met Cam. So this is night before we're hitting the trailhead and going to pack in. Like 10 o'clock, I'm in my undies, sleeping stuff. I'm like half asleep in bed, get a knock on the door. I'm thinking it's Omar. I open the door. It's Cam standing there. Hey, mate. I'm like, what's up?
Are you still in your underwear at this point?
Oh yeah. Like I was borderline asleep. I'm on that dad schedule,
Okay.
you know? So
And-
I was borderline asleep.
And actually, the reason why I was a bit chirpy was I was trying to hide it, but I was actually a few beers deep because Omar was late to the airport by an hour and a half. So I went to like a wee bar and then met like a pretty cool dude there. And then so I started having beers. And then when I came out into the car, I was actually feeling a little wobbly.
So why was Omar late?
I left the office late because I'm dedicated to work.
Dedicated. Okay, there you go. I just want to make sure he said the right thing there. I think he
That's
said
a
the right
good
thing.
answer. And that is true. He got out late, but he also likes to drive 5 miles an hour under the speed limit. You know,
5 miles over the speed limit.
No.
Yes.
Omar
Cam
and
was
I,
with me the whole time.
Omar and I get along great because I don't like the speed either.
Omar's a solid 5 under the speed limit kind of guy. Like solid.
There's no way.
Just grandpa driving, 2 hands on the wheel at all
Yes.
time, 9
Yep.
and 3.
Yep.
No.
That's
One hand on the wheel, just like this.
I
Going
was actually
85.
hanging on when we were trying to keep up with Lorenzo.
I'm a solid like 25 to 30 over the speed limit
Exactly.
kind of guy.
That's a ticket.
Hey, we both got. Did you get a ticket?
No.
Me either.
All right.
So anyway, like that was my first in-person
Interaction,
Cam.
yeah.
As I'm like half asleep, contacts out, no glasses on. I'm like, what's up? He's like,
Crocs on.
where we go? I'm like, here's your room key, bro. I'll see you in the morning. Like I'm toast right now. Just got done driving. I had all morning with my son. I'm like I'm out. So when we wake up, by the way, the amount of crackheads,
Oh, man.
scary.
Wait, what?
In
Scary,
New Mexico.
bro. I feel it's sad, obviously, right? Like you don't want that for anybody, and it's kind of cold in New Mexico, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just so many of them. But as a hunter, you have so much gear in your truck.
That's what's always hard when you go to a hotel. You don't
Yeah.
want to leave anything in your vehicle, even in the cab.
And New Mexico is one of those places where like you really don't want to leave anything.
Like you're
And then,
taking the seatbelts and everything.
dude, like I wanted to take the tires off my own truck, you know. And all the hotels, restaurants, they all have signs outside. I don't know if you guys know this,
Yeah.
but I see them everywhere. It's like, we are not responsible for lost or stolen vehicle stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, truck break-ins must be a real thing here. Dude, it's crazy. They're everywhere. It's really weird. Like living in every bush.
I was messing with one on when we were out of the hunt. When you got us a hotel, Omar was in the shower and there was one wandering around the car park, and I was like knocking on the window, closing the curtain, peeking through. So
Oh, I'm sure you freaked him out.
yeah, so I made the most of it. But yeah, a lot of them around. Welcome
man,
to New
it's just-
Mexico.
Interesting
you
place,
got
huh?
so much stuff in your truck, and as a hunter, like those things you need.
You
know
do
what I
need
mean?
to survive to be successful. Like even
yeah.
a cooler, even extra gas
Oh, yeah.
cans.
Cooler, you kill a bull. Like we need the cooler. We
Yeah.
need it, and so it's just that uneasy feeling. So we woke up super early, drove to the trailhead just so we could get out of there,
Yeah.
and shooting at the trailhead, hanging out, start putting our packs together, and Omar and I, we'd done a bunch of work on the front end, pack weight and what we're going in with, just because of gear. We talked about it with Trail and everybody on the
Yeah,
podcast.
what is your guys' pack weight going into this hunt?
So-
'Cause is it a full backpack hunt, or are you guys coming back?
8 days. We're packed for 8 days. 2 liters of water because there's a creek. What we hit it like 3.5 hours into.
Okay,
the,
yeah, so you're packing
Yeah.
water just to get through that first
yeah,
part.
packing waters. But from there,
Yeah.
waters
So eight days. What's your weight?
2.1 pounds of food per day. So I hit the trailhead. We had our weight scale. I hit the trailhead at 50.2.
50.2, yeah.
You hit it at 49.8.
Wait, whoa. How is he less than you?
Because I
That's
had
what I
less
said.
water.
That doesn't seem
That's what-
and
that's
that's
what-
what makes
you're-
sense.
Yeah,
Because I went way light.
Yeah.
He had no water.
Uh-oh.
I had
Camel.
3.5,
my man.
almost 4 pounds of water.
I went with 38 ounces. And
That was with no bow either.
yeah, no bow. Yeah, no bow. Just essentially, just all the pack.
Yeah.
Everything that was in my pack, 38 ounces of water, food, and everything. And then I strapped the bow onto the pack, but
Yeah.
I never count that.
So we'd been doing a lot of work on the front end, and I knew exactly what my pack was going to come into. I knew it was going to be right at 50, and I really wanted to be below 50, but I didn't want to give up on the food.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could shed that 1 ounce, that 2.1. I could shed that 0.1 per day, but like I'm not going to redo my macros. Like I'll deal with the 50.2 or whatever it was.
Yep.
We're packing. I look at Cam's backpack, and he's rocking the big Marshall, the
Oh, yeah.
Marshall, the
Like
mystery
Matthews-
rents
like
Marshall.
Matthews
Yeah,
shoes?
and that
Yeah.
thing was full.
What was your pack weight?
Hold
Yeah.
on, hold on,
Oh,
hold
okay.
on, hold on. Cam, what 150 pounds soaking wet, maybe.
No, I weighed myself 159.
I don't know if I buy that. Is that at night or morning?
I'm pretty sure that was after taking a shit. That's when I usually try to weigh myself.
I mean, the guy, he's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got a great build, but like he's not
Not big, no.
a big dude.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at his backpack, and it's like, dude, those compression straps are fully let out.
Oh,
the
gosh.
bag is like, it's full, and it is round. And I'm looking, and I'm like, huh, okay. And I'm like, in my mind, because I've never met him before,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like, dude, I've done this hunt before, so I know exactly what we're getting into, and it is physical. Like, this is one of the more physical hunts you could possibly do for a lot of different reasons. But just getting in, and it's really physical. And we put the scale to his pack. It was
68 pounds, right?
No, it was 33 kgs,
yeah,
which is just over 70 pounds.
which is
Oh, like
70
72.
pounds.
72
Yeah.
pounds or
Wow.
something.
Yeah.
And you guys are rocking 50 and
Hold
just
on, hold on. Yeah, and he puts it on, and it's bigger than he is.
Bigger
And
than-
I'm like, Cam, you won't, like, we can carry some stuff. Are you sure? He's like, no, I'm good. And he's got a 8-pound camera in his right hand. I'm like, you're not going to strap that to your pack, your shoulder, nothing. He's like, no, I'll carry it like this. He's got one trekking pole.
yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, dude. We're not even going to be able to film this. Like, there's no way we're making this.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
They're crunch a bunch of miles right now.
Yeah,
in his
like
giant
there's,
backpack.
there's no way.
Top
And
heavy.
he swore up and down. He's like, no, I'm good. No, mate, I'm good.
How do you get the pack on? Do you do the old sit down turtle method, like roll over?
We
do
helped
you-
him out.
Oh, you
helped him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, in my mind, I'm like, there's no chance this is happening. Like, we're gonna get just a little bit in, and we're gonna have to reshuffle gear between all of our packs to
I
get
think
all
I
this
even
stuff in.
told you something like
You did.
when we got to the top, and I was like, because he was like going behind, and I'm like watching him come up. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna hang.
And dude, he's got that 8-pound camera in his right hand and one trekking pole, and he never said one word. Never complained, nothing. Just right with us the whole way, all the way. And I'm like, this dude's a fucking savage. Like, this is gonna be good.
Yeah,
this will be really good.
Because starting off that trail, in my head, I was like, fuck, they're going to think that I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I've been in that position before where you're filming and it's like, oh, well, your pack's heavy. So that's probably why I seemed a bit blasé about how much I was carrying. But I've just been in that position before where it's like, fuck, this is going to suck.
Yeah.
And then that first, like, half an hour, 40 minutes getting up the hill.
It's straight vertical. That first half hour
Yeah.
is straight vertical to get on the first ridge.
And then I'm actually feel like I'm dying, struggling to breathe. And, you know, like the first hour of a walk is always the hardest until you
Yeah,
break
it
it
is.
in.
Yeah.
But the whole time I'm like, fuck, we just have to get a few days deep so that they know that I can keep up. And I was just dying. And it wasn't until like towards the end of the trip where Lorenzo mentioned that he was also dying on that first hour or like struggling as well. So yeah, I was feeling the pressure on that one. I was like, we just have to get a few days in
Well,
just to prove that I can make it in here and still hit record.
that was a pretty funny little back and forth with him and I too, because like no matter how hard you train, I don't care how hard you train. And, you know, I was bouncing back from that surgery or whatever, but I still rucked a lot. I felt really good as I could going into it. Omar's been training like crazy the whole time. But you pull up to a trailhead at 9,000 feet.
Yeah.
It's like we can't train for that here in Vegas,
very hard to
and
replicate that.
especially New Zealand. Like we just can't train for that. You know what I mean? So that first, Omar and I went up that first 45 minute. It's just straight vertical the first 45 minutes until you get on that first ridge. And we went up at first because he was filming us like going up like that takeoff from the trailhead. So he was behind us a bit and he told us, yeah, I'll just catch up with you. Well, by the time he got up there, Omar and I had recovered. But what he didn't know is Omar and I are standing on the top of the ridge going, I feel like I'm dying. Like elevation sucks. I literally feel like I'm dying.
Yeah.
Cam didn't get that part of the conversation.
So he's just like, gosh, these guys are beasts. They're
Yeah,
not saying
yeah.
anything. They're just going.
Yeah,
like
that was exactly what I was thinking.
Three,
Yeah.
4 days in, I for whatever reason, we're on the topic, and I'm like, dude, that first 45 minutes at elevation, I literally thought I was dying. He goes, thank God you finally said something. I was over here thinking I'm the only one dying. I'm like, no, bro. By the time you got there, we had recovered, but like I literally thought I was going to pass out. It's that first elevation climb, you know?
It's always the hardest. Is
Like,
this
thank
something?
God, you know?
Is this something too, where you guys maybe look through some of his gear he was bringing beforehand, or just trusted he has all the camera gear, he has everything else, he's good to go, or do you like say, hey, let's just look through it to see if we can pull out?
Well, in our conversations beforehand, like back home, I am doing a lot of backpack missions, so I do genuinely know what I need to bring. But since being here and seeing these guys, and even with Sam Davis and Wyoming, is you guys get your shit really dialed. I've never ever done that before. I've never been like just had a perfect layout of what I'm going to bring, what it all weighs. So I do sort of know what I'm doing, but at the same time, not really compared to you guys and how you prepare.
Which Cam brings up a good point, because we were talking about it and we're like, well, we only get like, 1 month. If we're elk hunting and that's all we're thinking about, it's like we only get one chance at it. So like for 11 months out of the year, we're looking at all our gear, thinking what to add, what to take out. He's like, well, New Zealand, we hunt all year round. So like, I'm always in the mountains, I'm always training, I'm always know what my gear is. So it's like you could kind of already know like your setup,
Yeah, they're always ready.
Yeah,
they could drop
always
anything
ready.
and be mountain ready.
Yeah, and that's where Omar and I were getting pissed at the situation. He's like, yeah, we'll wake up and if we look out the window, it's a nice day. It's like, yeah, let's go for a hunt. Like, that's such
That'd be
bullshit.
cool.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing.
This would be so
This
awesome.
is crazy.
Yeah, it's like you're bored in summer, you can go for a hunt.
Bored in the winter, go for a hunt.
Yeah, exactly. Just any time if it looks good and you want something to do, then yeah. But like on that gear stuff, the last thing I want to do when I get home is spend weeks researching all of my gear and equipment. Meanwhile, during your off season, you guys are like, well, I've got some time to kill. Let's get my shit dialed.
So you're not the person at all that like sits down, weighs all your gear. You just like, I just know I need it. I'm gonna throw it in there, and it works.
Yeah, and then once I'm at the, as you guys say, trailhead, and I can't stand up on my own with the pack, then I'm like, I'm fucked. so a lot of it's learning then and there, but yeah.
Dude, he crushed it though. Like, and when we made it to first camp spot, immediately Omar and I are like, dude, this is gonna be good. Yeah, this is gonna be really good. Like this is gonna play out awesome.
So anticipations were high.
Yeah,
the whole hiking and
it's-
getting excited.
We've all had a cameraman
Yep.
that let's say is unwilling or just has something to say about what you want to do. So then you kind of you talk about it on the podcast all the time, Brady, about somebody just puts it in your head and then you start to question like, should we actually do that?
Do we want to go 5 miles today
and
or stick around camp?
Cam never, not one word. And I'm like, dude, this is good.
Yeah.
Because being in there 6 years ago, it's full camp on your back every day, crushing miles, crushing deadfall. Wherever you end up, And it's like, just let's go to the top. Let's go to the bottom. Let's go back to the top. And there's no elk. Let's go this.
Yeah.
And he never said one word. So, dude, it was great. We knew we were on a high from then on.
I was thinking things though. Yeah, I was
We're all
thinking
thinking
to
things.
myself.
I was thinking things too. But like, you just don't say them. Just don't say them out loud, and then they don't exist.
Yeah, when you're all on the same page on a hunt, that just makes
best.
every day so great.
It's the best.
And you all are physically capable. You all know your talents are going to rise, and you're all going to go out every morning. Like, yeah, if we want to go over there, we're going to go over there. We're going to do anything we can to go find and kill an animal.
Yep.
And I did find out Cam is a diesel engine, because from the start he was going like he never stopped. And like towards the end, when I was like kind of starting to be like, this is wearing on my body, Cam's like up ahead
stronger.
the whole time.
Yeah.
He
he
just
got
goes the
stronger.
same speed all the time,
Yeah,
just like a
100%.
diesel.
It's definitely the weight thing, and I think that might be because I'm a smaller frame. When I've got weight, I'm slower than usual. If I don't have weight, then I might be a bit quicker than usual. But because like with this whole hunt, when you guys were talking about backpacking in, I was like, yeah, sweet, done this a lot back home. But what was different about this hunt was it was every day with that weight on.
Yeah.
And like what I took out with food, like the weight that I removed by eating some food, I was replacing with water because we found out that there wasn't really as much water around as
One of the creeks was dry and it
we had
really
hoped.
threw a wrench in it.
you know, so you eat a couple pounds, but then the next day I found myself carrying an extra couple pounds of water to be safe. But what I was sort of expecting going into that hunt was like we get in there, and this is what we generally do back home with our backpack missions. And it might be the same for other areas that you guys hunt, but we set up a base camp and then we do big day missions from there. And then if we locate some animals and we go back, stay the night at camp, and then it's like, all right, we're going to move to that location tomorrow. And then we travel, but we still hunt without all of the weight on.
Yeah.
So the hardest part about this trip and the filming is just, having the weight on that whole time.
Yeah.
70-pound pack the whole time.
Yeah. Every day, moving
Every
camp.
day,
You're-
no matter what.
You're not-
And in those moments where something happens, you hear something, these boys are focused, trying to pinpoint a bugle, like I want to film all of that, and I'm used to like bouncing around, you know, like I'll jump in front of them, get a shot behind, but it was just so hard to move. So like that one was like this hunt was like one of the hardest balances between what I want to do creatively and then what I physically can do. And then that gets a bit hard, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, not to mention the deadfall.
Dude, we can get into that. Are we going to do a full recap?
I think we should
about
do
the whole hunt.
I'm going to do a full recap because I want to, because like the story seems so intense. Like a lot of things that, you know,
It was intense
on.
for sure.
I reckon this is going good, like going with the story, breaking apart a wee topic, carrying on with the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So
So we get in there first night.
You guys have a couple days to scout? Or
Yeah,
is it,
so we're a day and a half early.
okay.
So, and the thought process there was, you know, that archery season is 10 days long. We have tags in 2 wildly different places.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been in this area in 6 years. I guess it's the 7th year now. And things have changed. There's, you know, burns and this and that and nothing. 6 years, 7 years.
That's a long time, yeah.
It's a long time. So
Some of the bulls you saw before are dead.
a lot of them are. So I'm stressed of like, is it going to be the same? And like I said, I get so amped up on other people's hunts. Like I wanted Omar to have that experience that I had in there. Cause like what a first elk hunt, if that is your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it'll top 99% of the rest of the elk hunts you ever go on for the rest of your life. And, you know, he had that tag. So I'm like, man, this is like, we got to make the most of it. Right. And, so we get in there first night and there's a very centrally located creek. And it's like right in the middle of kind of working this big burned base, and it's east to west. You're working it east to west and you're just going up and down elevation as you're working east to west the whole time. And the central creek was dry. It was not dry when I was in there 6 years ago. So there's a change right there.
Yep.
And that's what we find out first, you know, that half day. We got to the top ridge at, call it 5 o'clock.
I think we're aiming for 6 hours and we did it like in 4, right?
4.5.
4.5, yeah.
Yeah. We crushed it.
So no
Been
water.
and that's Cam did awesome. That's why we crushed it. But yeah, we hit that first creek and there's no water. And I'm like, okay, this is different. And by the way, we have not heard a bugle in 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Wildly different from when I was in there, because the very first ridge you break over, like to get into the hunt grounds when I was there with trail, like it was a symphony. The first ridge we broke over.
So were you noticing anything else changes? Was it like vegetation changed? Was it drier?
Deadfall.
A lot
The
more
deadfall was, I mean, I don't know like the metric to use of how much worse the deadfall was, but like it was 5 times worse.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was unbelievably bad compared to when I was in there. Like when I was in there, it was still manageable to to hike and not have to log walk. Like it was manageable for sure. This time you could not log walk. Like it was impossible. And it took so long to go a quarter of a mile. I mean, it took hours to go a quarter of a mile.
Did your thought process switch to like it could be a benefit in a way because
Not yet.
Because of hunting pressure?
Not
it's
yet.
going to keep people away?
Not yet.
Okay.
So I was in a dark place those first couple hours because I'm the one, right? It's like it's kind of on my shoulders. I took responsibility
you're sending
for it
people
because,
in.
and it was a spot that I had been, right? It's
Yeah.
trail spot that was passed to me and checked with trail. Trail's like, yep, cool. I have no problem you taking him in there. So now I'm passing the spot to Omar, and it's like, I took the reins on. You have this tag. Hey, I have this spot, and I'll take you. And so I'm back there, and I'm like, okay, creek's dry. No one is back here. When I was back there with trail, there was an outfitter camp with horses. We ran into another hunter on foot, and it's like seeing other hunters. It's a two-way street, right? Especially an outfitter, it's a two-way street. It's a good spot, right? Like there's animals in the area. It's kind of a thing. You know what I mean? It's like I would love to be by myself, but this obviously is a good spot. There's elk in here. That's why people are here. And it turned out with trail that was the case. We go there with Omar, and there is not a horse trailer at the trailhead, not a single horse trailer at the trailhead. There's no horse tracks on the trail. There's no footprints, no other hunting trucks, nothing. And I'm like,
that would take you to a dark place.
like maybe this unit did change.
Yeah, there's no elk anymore.
New
That's
burn,
the sign.
new burn, deadfall's terrible, creek's dry. And I'm like, oh boy, like this, we could be in for it, And that night we found a spring. Thank God we found a spring, and kind of doing a little bit of walking, found just a little trickle of a spring. And we're like, yeah, we'll go here. We'll sleep here tonight. At least there's water right here since that last creek was dry, and we don't have to walk a mile and a half back to the last one we just crossed because there's no bugles anyways. So like at least we're getting deeper in. We'll sleep right here on this spring. And then can't remember why we decided, but like, let's drop lower. Let's just drop a little bit lower to look down off this shelf. Remember that very first night? I don't know why we went lower, but we did, and then we finally started hearing bugles.
Well, yeah, we went lower because we wanted to get to water, remember? And
That's
we were
what
like,
it was.
let's go over there. There's water over there.
Yeah.
And then we passed that spring, and then I was like, hey, man, it's getting late.
Let's just
let's go to the spring. We're hearing bugles. We know they're there. Like, mission accomplished. You're like, mission accomplished.
We
let's go
located
back
a
to that
bugle.
spring, and then we have fresh water. We'll camp there.
Yep.
And then we'll do a new game plan tomorrow.
Exactly. So that was that first, and we heard bugles like way below us. And I'm like, okay, well, at least there's some elk in here. Definitely not what it was with Trail and I, but at least there's some elk in here. I'm like, tomorrow we're going to wake up early, and we're going to go straight vertical all the way to the top, basically. There's 2 wallows up there that Trail and I came across, and it was good. It was really good. Like, that's what we're doing. We'll go look for elk up there. Maybe there's a herd of elk up there. We hike and hike and hike and hike, and it took way longer than expected. And we get
No
there,
bugles in the morning.
no bugles the entire way up,
Silent.
and I'm like going into a dark place again. I'm like, oh boy.
This is the morning.
Yeah, morning.
The
of day
morning
2.
hike, and we get there at like noon. And I'm like, let's just sit on the wallow till 3. And if we don't hear or see anything, I guess we're dropping all the way low to where we heard those bugles last night, which low is in the live timber. And I remember being in there with Trail, and it's just not as fun. You know what I mean? It's not the experience. So I'm like, man, if that's what we're doing, I guess that's what we're doing. More of a Colorado style, like dark timber type of hunt. I'm like, man, I don't want to go down there. That's why we decided to go to the top, check those wallows. There wasn't shit. There wasn't tracks.
There was nothing.
There was no fresh sign.
We just took a nap.
we took a nap, and we ate some food. And I'm sure Cam's wondering, like, what the hell am I even here for? What are we going to film? Like,
Yeah,
it's just a bunch of dead trees.
You're just hiking with heavy packs.
Just hiking with heavy packs for no reason. Took a nap, ate some food, and then I'm like, you know what? Hunt starts tomorrow. We're bombing to the bottom. Like, it is what it is. That's where we located some bugles. We're bombing to the bottom. So back up. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
That's mentally defeating right there.
so defeating. And those were like such good wallows they were so fun to hunt. And we had so much action there, and bulls coming in and satellite bulls calling in. And it was, I'm like, okay, well, mark that off the list. One of the spots, the main spot. And as we're hiking down off the bottom, or hiking down towards the bottom, a mile and a half up from the bottom we hear a bugle. Mm-hmm. And I turned to Omar and I'm like, did you hear that? He's like, yeah. I start pumping my fist. I'm like, yes, there's elk. Yes. Like there is some up here in the burn. And, we sit down just to listen because I was trying to go down off that way to get to water, and that bugle was coming from kind of right where we needed to go. So I sat down just to game plan, like, what do you guys think? I think we're going to have to backtrack so we don't bump this bull. We'll have to go below him.
Is the bull like potentially in some north-facing timber? Like what's the kind of topography the bull might be in?
He would be, so the burn is south-facing, and he was in a live timber patch that faces to the west.
Okay.
So
a little more moisture.
Deep canyon, live timber, west facing slope. Yep. And there was water at the bottom of it that we were trying to get to. And I'm like, yeah, we got to circle all the way around him. Well, as we're sitting there game planning, Cam goes, there's a bull right there. And another bull that was not bugling comes out. Big bull. 7 point on the left side.
Yeah. He was a cool bull.
Just walking? Close?
Feeding.
Yeah.
Just feeding.
You guys didn't spook.
Wasn't
You
bugling.
didn't spook somehow.
No, it wasn't feeding.
You guys never called at this point.
No, I didn't want to call.
Yeah.
I the whole mission was get in there early, locate the herd.
Yeah, do some reconnaissance.
Stay
work.
off of the herd. Just follow them. So opening morning, we're on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because, those elk herds, when they rut like that, they travel a lot. They're always traveling. That's why you have full camp on your back all the time. So you just, wherever they end up, you end up. And it was all about, like, we're just going to stay 1,000 yards off the herd. And so we can push in the morning. That's all the mission was that first day and a half. Well, this bull comes out and he's like 120 yards maybe.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like right below us. The bugle we're hearing was 500 yards.
Yeah, way further down.
Way further. Like not even we weren't worried at all. All we had to do was backtrack, get below him, whatever. And this bull comes out. Cameraman, like, there's a bull. I'm like, wait, what? He goes, yeah, he's coming out right here. He's like, I saw horns on him. It's got at least a split. I think he said, right?
A split.
Or like,
I like it.
Yeah, no, I when I first saw him, he was head on, and I mentioned that he was maybe a smaller bull.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Then that's what it looked like front on.
Yeah. And when he jumped the log to come out and feed, I saw him from the side profile. And I saw his left horn, and it's a 7 point.
Oh,
and a
geez.
very well put together 7 point. And I'm like, that's a big bull. And then I immediately look at Omar and I go, do not let this affect your thoughts of this hunt. Like, we're hunting 6 points in here. That's what's fun about this hunt. Mm-hmm. Like, do not let that affect your decision making. And he's like, oh, you can tell it. I'm not going to look at it. So he lays down and just starts looking up at the sky.
Laid on my back, and because I looked at it for a little bit, and I mean, it's the day before opener. Like, it's just killing me knowing that bull's in there. Mm-hmm. And I just laid on my back. I'm not going to look at it. I just laid
It's like
on
12
my back.
hours. It's like 12 hours before opener.
But when's the last time you laid eyes on an elk?
September last year.
September of last
And
year.
I didn't even have the elk tag. I had a deer tag.
Yeah, you just saw some bulls. But
Yeah.
So just like your heart start racing, even though you know you can't kill them right now because it's not season's not yet. But you just like get excited. So
I mean,
you get yourself amped up.
Oh yeah, it was just cool to see a bull like that close, and like that was like we surpassed our mission that day. We got really close to a bull.
We failed the mission. We
Yeah,
got too close.
Like on those old I don't know if you played Grand Theft Auto back in the day, but
Of course I did.
you know those missions where you have to like spy on them.
Yeah.
We got too close and we got busted.
Wait, what were we talking
But
about?
he never busted. Grand Theft Auto.
It's a video game. You wouldn't
Sorry.
get it.
Okay. Yeah.
You wouldn't get it. I played it for a different reason. Which, if you know, you know. But yeah. But Omar is like, I'm not going to look at it. That's the biggest bull I've ever seen. I'm like, dude, don't look at it. Because
Yeah.
we're seeing side profile, and side profile of this bull is just beautiful. And then he starts feeding towards us. And I'm like, okay, we're about to really fail the mission. We got great wind. Everything's fine. We're not skylined. We're tucked up in the sitting down. We got nothing to worry about. We just can't have this bull work to us. Because I don't want him to take whatever's below him. If that bull's got cows or whatever, I don't want him to take that herd. Because that's what we're hunting in the morning, is that herd right there. They're in the burn. That's what I want to hunt. That's what's fun. Is because you can see them, you can work on them, all this stuff. You know, that experience that I was planning for in my head that I wanted for Omar. I'm like, okay, this bull down there bugling, that's what we're gonna get. Like that's that experience where you call him out of the live timber into the burn. So fun. And this thing starts walking towards us, and he has no cows. And so I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, how can I put a stop to this? Like, he cannot keep feeding this way. We have the wind. I mean, this thing's going to walk right on top of us if I don't try something. Like, challenge bugle. He's a young bull. He's got no cows. I'm going to scream as loud as I can, challenge bugle in his face, the chuckle, everything, and get him to be like, oh, shit, I don't want to go get my ass kicked. So I challenge bugle right in his face, 100 yards away from us. He lifts his head up, challenge bugles right back, and starts walking towards us. And I'm like, oh, God. Fail. Huge fail. Like, I don't know what to do. Huge fail. I'm not calling again. I'm not cow calling. Like, this thing needs to get into the timber immediately. Well, that didn't work. And we had such good wind and everything. So I failed that whole mission. And so we basically just turned it into a learning moment. I just kind of used it as a learning moment for Omar, because I messed up. I shouldn't have called, first of all. Who knows what would happen if I didn't call? But
yeah, exactly. You don't know.
I was trying to get him to turn back, to go back in so we could back out. You know what I mean? I was trying to get him to go into the live timber so he couldn't see us, so we could get back up and over the ridge and then drop down below these bulls and not spook them.
Yeah, because the worst thing is that bull sees you. That bull wins you.
And
that bull runs down to
takes the herd and gone.
Everything's gone.
Yep.
You just wreck the whole area.
And we were hunting those bulls in the morning. Like, we knew, this is the bull. He's bugling like crazy. Must have cows. We're hunting that herd. There's got to be a satellite in there. Yeah. Shit, that 6x7 was a satellite. Yeah. So I'm like, that's the herd.
The only thing I can think of is, what if you grabbed like a rock and tried to chuck it off to the side, act like there's an elk walking or something like that, make some noise that way, like distract him a little bit, and then like sneak out.
Dude, when he challenged bugle back, I froze. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. He's walking right at us, and he's pissed.
Yeah.
He's pissed. I bugled like I was pissed. He's pissed. Like, everyone just lay down. Don't move. And this is where I realized that the deadfall was a huge advantage. Because the deadfall was so bad. It is keeping people out of there, especially horses. And these bulls, they can't maneuver like they want to. A good bull is always, a smart bull is always going to try to circle you, wind you before they work in. But there's so much deadfall, they can't. Like, they just keep getting held up, and then they'll like spin and do like a horse jump. What's that called? Dressage or whatever, where the horses jump the fences.
Is that still a thing?
Show jumping.
I don't know. But dude, these bulls are like legs tucked, like torpedo jumping over these deadfall pieces that they can. But they can't maneuver fully, right? So they're kind of like, they're caught just the same way as you're caught.
They're wasting so much extra effort.
Yeah, and so these bulls aren't like trying to spin us and wind us, And anyways, we used it as a learning moment, because then finally I'm like, this bull's not going anywhere, and we have perfect wind, whatever. We got good sunlight, sun's at our back, and right over the top of us. I wasn't worried about us shining or any of that stuff. So I told Omar, I'm like, hey, listen, let's watch this bull. I'm like, see how he's walking right here? I'm like, see this green bush? When his head goes behind that green bush, that's when you draw. And I'm like, okay, so let's watch him. So he'd get behind and go, okay, you draw. And then when he comes out on the other side, mew, I'd do that to stop him. I'm like, that's when you would shoot.
So you're taking that now as like a practice and learning session. Yeah. You're visually just kind of talking to each other, going through this.
Yep. And I think that was good
for us. 100%. It was like, I think it's always good to like get close to animals, even though we couldn't actually like shoot them. But like, I learned so much just from like seeing like his behavior, like seeing how he behaved, and then coming, and then you being like, because you were kind of like behind me, and you were like, all right, you like that, when he puts his head down, when he's behind something, you draw. You don't, and then you said you don't want to draw like when he's wide in the open, or else he's gonna catch that. Yeah. And then he'll come out. You're already drawn back. We'll mew, and then that's like
he'll stop.
You settle the pin and shoot.
Even learning how they react with just their sight. With not being able to smell you, you can actually see how much you get away with. When they spot you, they look at you. If you were hunting, it's like, fuck, I better let an arrow fly
now.
Right,
yeah. But then when it's in a situation like that, then you see him put his head back down, take a bite of something, come in a bit closer, look at you. Like, you learn so much from being that close to an animal when you aren't planning to kill.
Yep. And those elk are so pure because they're so hard to get to. Like, they act and behave so pure because they're not messed with every day. So it's like, they're not those silent ninja bulls. They're not those like on high alert all the time bulls. Like, a lot of the areas you get used to because people just drive their trucks in September and want to go listen to them and call them even though they don't have a tag, anything like that. we all know areas like that. But
that's probably like the first human interaction. Oh, you really didn't spook the bull or anything, but like the bull hasn't seen anyone in a long time.
That's my thought. And I'm like, okay, this bull, and the wind could not have been better, like a stiff wind right in our face. And so we just used it as like okay, here's another good opportunity. He's feeding. You could draw right now, right? Like, and then, okay, he's at 55 yards, and you see the angle he's walking on. When he comes out here, he's going to be like 45, and I'm going to be over your shoulder, and I'm going to range him. So, like, it gave us a practice where him and I kind of got on the same page.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's good. So it ended up being really good. Yeah. And then he got to 35 yards, and he was kind of like barking and slobbering. And so he pulled out his phone. I'm like, yeah, there's nothing we can do now. And pulled out his phone. We started videoing him. And then finally he's like, I don't like it. And he didn't bust. He just kind of turned, went back into the timber. I'm like, oh, thank God. Not only did he not bust, like he's still right here for the morning. And we, go back to our plan. We back out. We get down below these elk and set up camp. It had been very physical. The hike in, the hike up to the wallows, and the deadfall, the hike down. Then with this bull, I'm like, we're going to take these last 3 hours of light. Like, we have the herd we're going to hunt tomorrow. We're just going to go chill, kick our feet up at the creek. Didn't you get in the creek that night?
Yeah.
Wait, what? You guys are doing some backcountry?
Not you guys.
Yeah, not
him.
Yeah, okay. Not you guys.
Yeah, that was worth it.
Well, especially because you kind of glanced over, but we had a mission to go down that mountain.
Mission.
The deadfall and everything.
That was a mission.
Yeah. I remember looking at Cam, and I waited for him or else he would have lost us. So I waited for Cam, and he shows up, and your pants were like pulled, like
hanging down, crack showing. It was a serious workout, and like even to start off with, when I get a clip of these guys walking by, generally it takes me about 20 seconds to get a clip of someone walking away. Because, you fluff around 5 seconds pulling your camera out, and then I try to hit record for at least 10 seconds. And then as soon as I'm behind, then I'm not taking the same route as them. So I try to take a shortcut. I get caught up in shit while they're going good, and then they get caught up in shit while I'm going good. So I was separated from you guys for a lot of it.
Yeah.
And that was, I think when I'm on my own going through deadfall, and these guys like 100 yards away, you're just like, fuck.
We had 1.1 miles to looking up on my maps, pull it up, as a crow flies as a dove flies is what we came up with.
Wait.
It was really funny. We came up with, because the deadfall was so bad and you couldn't go in a straight line. We were all talking about like as crow flies, and I'm like, dude, this is like as a dove flies. Those things are changing directions every 5 seconds. That's what we are. Like, you want to go this way, but then you got to go left and then right and then up and then back and then down and then to go one direction. Like, this is 1.1 miles as a dove flies. You know how they're always dipping and changing?
Yeah.
So anyways, that's what we came up with, was all of our metrics back there were as a dove flies. So we had 1.1 miles to go, and it took us 2.5 hours downhill.
I remember some of those places I've been to before.
Downhill, 1.1 took us like 2.5 hours.
Those are those times too where it's almost more mentally draining than physical, because you realize too, every step is dangerous.
Yeah. Always dangerous.
Like, you slip in that stuff, it ain't going to be good. And honey hasn't even started yet.
Yeah. And it's all that timber that's got like those spikes on them.
Oh, that would stick straight up right over your
There's so many ways to hurt yourself in that shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, getting a stick up the ass if you slip on a log. Even when you put your leg between two, you're worried about falling forward and snapping your leg. When you have to climb up onto some bigger logs, and then you have to jump down with 50 or 70 pounds on your back, hoping the ankles don't give out.
Did you guys see any fresh trees falling in that burn when you went through it?
No, thankfully. Omar didn't do a very good job that first night of looking for widowmakers. I tucked right in between these.
Yeah, that's a good learning experience.
Dude,
to figure out where to camp in that stuff.
Right in between these two dead ones. I was safe as could be. We woke up in the morning and we saw where Omar was sleeping. We're like, oh boy.
Let's take a second here.
I've never heard of a widowmaker before until you guys said it, and I kept it to myself. But they're like, oh fuck, well that's something else to look out for now.
Yeah. And you got because I didn't pay attention because it started raining. I left that out too. That first night we slept on the spring, started raining, big thunderstorm. So we just kind of like tucked in hurry, and that's why I like bivvy setup. Is I got tucked right underneath these two already dead fallen logs. Like, dude, I was covered no matter which way one of those widowmakers fell. And I wasn't paying attention to them because we were getting soaked. And so I wake up the next morning and we're letting the sun come up a little bit to dry out our gear. And Omar's like looking around and he looks at me and goes, "That probably wasn't a good place to camp." And I'm like, "No, bro, look at all these dead trees are uphill from you, are all falling that way." And it was windy from that storm. And so that was a good learning moment.
And some of the closest lightning I've been to.
Yeah, that was a couple of those.
One of those strikes was seriously bright and the thunder was right on top of it.
Yeah.
Maybe even closest coyote you ever got to also. But you never heard it, which I was amazed because that thing was loud.
I was sleeping.
He's a hard sleeper. He's like you. He's a hard sleeper.
Just goes.
So anyway, sorry, we backtracked to the first night, but we'll fast forward back to the second night. Now we get to the creek, and we're like, yeah, let's just take this opportunity to rest. Like, we just beat the shit out of ourselves, and tomorrow we need to be fresh for hunting. So, supplements and food and water and soaking feet, and he jumps fully into a full ice bath, which it was cold.
I just dipped myself into like above my belly button, and I think I only did 3.5 minutes in it. Like,
so this is like nature's cold plunge.
Yeah. Well, I do it on the odd hunt. Like, before I came here, we were doing it in glacial water on like a far colder night. But yeah, I don't know. I think it always helps. Like, it genuinely feels good. And I was telling these guys, like, don't you come take a peek, even though I assume that they wouldn't, because like I'm butt naked in there,
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then that's where I learned about warrior dick. And it makes me feel so much better.
Yeah,
like the next
the
time I
old
do
warrior
that.
dick. That's when it turns into a second belly button.
Because in New Zealand, like a couple of weeks beforehand, like it's colder, or it's coming in spring, and I did it with a buddy, and so we jump in there, getting up to our belly buttons, and I'm covering my package, and it's dark. We got headlamps on. I look over at him, and he's got his belly button, his second belly button showing, and I was like,
I've never heard
well,
it call this.
Second belly button, man.
yeah. Well, I think I learned that from Omar as well, and then I was like, well, I got nothing to hide then, so let it go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So and dude, it's cold. Like, it was way colder than when I was with Trail again 6 years ago. Like, ice on your sleeping bag on the foot box every morning. It was cold, and he jumped right in that creek. There's no doubt I'm a big believer in them like helping recovery. But man, I'm a desert rat, and it was already plenty cold, and I wasn't getting any more cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this crazy bastard just jumps into it. So anyways, we sitting there that night, and as we're falling asleep, I hear that bugle, and it's just that validation of like, oh yes, they're still there.
Still there.
That bull, he
How
didn't
far
pull
away
a
do you think
herd.
they were?
They were 800 yards as a
Probably.
dove flies.
And what
from
are
camp.
your thoughts on camping in a herd? That's fairly close.
1,000 yards would be what I would prefer.
Your window.
Yeah, 1,000 yards, like bibby hunting, and I learned that from Trail. Trail's the king of
Yeah, because
elk
you got
hunting.
to pay attention to where the thermals are going to be going
Exactly.
at night.
Yep. And Trail's the king of this. I learned all this from Trail when I was back there. You want that buffer. You don't want to be right on them, but
Yeah.
you want that buffer where you can hear them, right? Just very faintly hear them, but you're not going to disturb anything, and it'll allow you to pull camp and start working in on them, right?
Yeah. But those are those like woodsman type skills that only come with experience. And that's what's
100%.
cool about passing it right on to Omar again.
Yeah.
It's like you might glaze over it and you've heard it before being talked about, but till you're in that situation to realize, all right, we're camping here for a reason, and you can feel the thermals and you know what it's doing.
Yep.
And like you want to know, okay, the elk are over here, they're not going to wind us. We're close enough to attack in the morning, but far enough away where it's safe.
Yeah,
That's really important.
Exactly. And yeah, Trail passed that along to me of like, and then you want to camp in those creek bottoms because the thermals are going down all night, all morning. So you're cooking food, you're doing this, you're doing that. And you don't want to do it until the sun starts going down. That's when we started cooking food and stuff. Just make sure those thermals are going down. Wake up in the morning, pull camp. Everything's going down.
In the negative of those areas, is it always really cold too? And you always got moisture and everything.
Way colder right there.
But it's a smart thing to do. You don't think it is at the time, but it's the smart thing to do.
It's the safest. You're guaranteed to know what the thermals are doing and what your scent is doing. And so Trail taught that to me. That's what we were doing. I'm like, this is, we're 800 yards. It's a little closer, but like, 200 yards, the deadfall, whatever. Like this is just what we're doing.
What's your guys' sleep setup? You said you're bibbing, bivy sack.
Bivy with a tarp when it rains.
Okay. So light, super fast and easy.
Super light, super fast.
Did you notice how quick his setup is to throw around? He can be sleeping in minutes.
Yeah, I know that he rubbed it in my face every night. Of course.
And I took the opportunity to rub it in his face every night.
So would you ever change your setup maybe to something like that for an elk hunt?
I told him if like, you know, if we're doing like the style hunt again ever, like I'm changing my setup.
Yeah.
Cause like, you know, you're tired every single night. And Lorenzo was like telling me before we even left, like you're going to want to do a bivy and tarp. And I was like, I'm going to try out this system here that I want to try out. I use a Stone Glacier Sky ULT, which I think is a phenomenal system.
It's still a small footprint, which is nice. But you realize too, like some of those places it's hard to find a spot for a tent.
Yeah.
It's just setup time. You know, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Like for me, you know, that tarp, I can just throw it over a log and a tree and tie it off. And I don't need, it's like the setup time is so fast, even when it rains and I have to set up the tarp over me. Because the one thing for a bivvy with me is I'm not going to sleep in it while it's raining, fully zipped up, everything. That's just, I'm a little claustrophobic. It's just not worth it. And the tarp has so many different purposes. So it's not like I'm carrying it only for that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a secondary use for the rain.
And it's roomy.
And it's roomy as hell. And it's so easy to just like tie it off on a tree and a bush and a trekking pole and done. Right? Like he's over there staking them out, guying out the lines, doing this, connecting all the pieces, and it's like it's just not worth it on those style of hunts.
Did you take a shelter, like a tent?
Yeah, I had a MSR Hubba Hubba.
Oh yeah, classic.
Then that's what it's called, Hubba Hubba?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hubba Hubba
Yeah, and so like there's always differences obviously between when I'm hunting personally and then filming. When that rain came in the first night, I was actually grateful to have a tent because you do need spare space for the camera gear. Like that stuff's a pain in the ass. So yeah, although the fly was like the perfect setup for in there, tarp. Sorry, yeah, the tent still sort of worked. Just
Yeah. And I had to bring his, because, you know, he's coming from New Zealand. So he was like, can you bring like a sleeping setup and stuff for me? And I'm going to need a backpack and food. So I was, you know, I asked Campos, good old King Campos, I need a tent for him. And he gave me the Hubba Hubba. It was already like the last day. I was like, shoot, I'm going to have to bite the bullet. Hopefully this doesn't come back and bite me in the rear where he's like mad that I didn't get like something more like a tarp or something. But yeah, the Hubba Hubba worked out perfect for him.
yeah. So
It worked good enough.
Yeah.
Plenty good enough.
yeah,
It's just the time thing, you
Yeah,
know.
the time's
And I was
big.
just not for any purpose that I'm better or worse, but like I was just smoking them on setting up and collecting camp. It's just that's how much faster that style is.
Which then
when
means
bivvy.
you can rest more. You can kick off your
Exactly.
boots. You
Exactly.
can kick back. You can maybe go to sleep earlier. Like,
And I'm not as stressed to like find a spot
Yeah,
in this. I
any
can
spot
just
works.
tuck against a log and be done.
yeah.
So anyways, we're sleeping that night, hear that bugle.
What time did that bull bugle?
10 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
What time did it get dark?
9:30 probably, yeah.
9:30.
9:30.
It was dark, pitch black.
Okay.
But I'm like, Omar, did you hear that? He's like, yeah, I heard it. I'm like, get ready, man. You know, like it's just one of those validated,
Yeah, yeah.
like good feels. Anyways, we go to sleep, wake up.
Well, do you remember? Do you remember like you're like, you hear that one? And I was like, on a couple hours, like I said yeah, but I was watching Netflix.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I go, did you hear that one? That one was kind of closer. Like I don't know. Hopefully they go the other way. And he goes, yeah, I heard it. Come to find out the next morning, he didn't hear shit. He was watching Netflix. And I'm like, okay, bro.
He was
Like,
getting mentally prepared.
yeah. But I said, okay, we're going to wake up early because we just, you know, the night before, remember I was telling you to go downhill took us that long. And I'm like, all right, we got to go 1,000 yards uphill. Let's wake up super early. I want to get at least halfway in the dark. And then we'll start slowing down and kind of picking the area apart and working on these bulls. So let's wake up at 5, give us an hour and 15 in the dark.
Yeah.
And we wake up, pull camp, pack it away, I'm eating breakfast, drinking my first Apex quench in the morning, getting all set up, bugle right away. And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, boy.
They're talking.
Game time.
I'm like, dude, you better be ready. He looks at me, he goes, I feel ice cold right now. I'm like, perfect.
Got ice in the veins.
Which I felt like never really. I played sports in middle school, which doesn't really count. I feel like if you play sports in high school, that counts. But like it felt like I was getting ready for like, you know, opener against a big team, and I was like the star quarterback. That's kind of how it felt.
Yeah.
And it was cool to like kind of like I was calming the nerves down, and then Lorenzo was like, "How do you feel?" I was like, "I feel ice cold. Like whatever's coming close, I'm smoking it." Which is kind of what I'm telling myself to not freak out.
So going on that side of it though, did you feel any pressure opening day? Because Lorenzo's tag is not valid in this unit, so it's only you hunting right now.
Yeah.
Like everything's on you.
It's a good point. And logistically, I told him, I said, listen, we can't do a horse pack if you do kill, because you're going to burn a day with the horseman getting ready, burn a day with the horseman coming in, and then a half a day packing out. We have to go clear to the other side. So we're hoofing this thing out, and we're driving to my unit that same night through the night, no matter what. So we only lose a day.
Yeah.
Instead of 2.5, we're only going to lose a day. And that'll give me, I was planning on my hunt being 3 days. Like, I'll give you 6 days. I want 3 days, losing the day of logistic, right?
Yeah.
And his hunt was a priority. I'd been there before. I know it's a great hunt. I'm like, that's what it is. So you did feel a little bit of like.
And we've talked about pressure on some other podcasts and stuff like that, and it's a thing.
And even with the filming, like I've been with experienced hunters that have killed 100 times, but they get nervous when there's a camera on them as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's a whole nother element to nail. But you were kind of acting perfect with the camera where you didn't really give a shit about what I was doing. Then that's how it felt. Like you were just focusing on hunting with Lorenzo. That was perfect.
That's good. Yeah, because that's your first like full filmed hunt. Like the hunt that we did together, we just self-filmed. You and I had the camera and just passing it back. Mm. Do you think it helped all the stuff we put you into and Go Hunt the last like year and a half of like filming around the office, getting comfortable in front of a camera, like understanding that the camera is really nothing. It's just another person. You're just having a conversation. Like
100%. Like, you know, being kind of in front of the camera, if you will, and like, you know, talking to the camera, and then also like Cam was just like, we had only known him for like 2 days at this point, but like he was just like the best person to be around. And
he's
like,
one of us immediately.
Yeah, one of us immediately. Like, you know, you're back there, we're joking around, like we're being serious, we're trying to survive. But like he was just like the best person, you know. And my first experience to like being with a cameraman in the backcountry, and I just hope like they're all that great, because I mean he was solid. And,
they're
like,
not.
And we like
just being honest.
One thing that I picked up like early on Cam was like, you know, we would have like some conversations, and you know, not that I've been on filmed hunts before, but like I feel like a lot of cameramen would just like, oh damn, missed that opportunity. But he's like, he will rewind you and, you know, ask like, hey, can you like, you know, talk about what you just said to the camera
to a certain degree. Like some stuff does pass by, and I'm not gonna fuck around the whole time trying to bring shit back. But I actually mentioned because I was going slower than these boys pretty much the whole time, and I was falling behind. These guys did have to wait for me. So I told Omar, I was like, I really hope that you get out with like a shittier cameraman, so that you can see that I'm not that bad. Like, this is his first experience, and I was falling behind 50, 100 yards. So yeah,
that was understandable there though. Guy's got one trekking pole, an 8-pound camera in one hand, and a 70-pound pack. I got 2 trekking poles and a 50-pound pack. Like, pretty understandable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back to slipping on logs that morning.
Dude,
back to slipping on logs,
really, really scary, honestly. So it was, I didn't realize how humid the air was, but it was really humid. And that morning, like I said, it was cold in the mornings. There'd be ice on your foot box, but like in my mind, you know, that's condensation, whatever. It's cold enough for ice on the foot box. But that morning I go to log walk, this real big deadfall snag. I go to log walk and it's dark and I wasn't paying close enough attention. Total rookie mistake. And I go to log walk across this big long thing. I'm like, I don't know what, 4 or 5 feet in the air on the top log. Dude, my feet just decleated, gone. 50-pound pack hit my ribs on the side, and thank God it was a smooth log. It didn't have any of those spikes on it.
So this is one with no bark on it.
No bark.
Yeah, those are dead.
But I didn't look. It was total rookie mistake. I should have like shined my light on it to see if it's got frost, and I didn't. That could have been really bad. Like I straight up bounced off my ribs, bent my thumbnail back. I'm like, okay, well, we're not log walking this morning, so we'll just tone it down a little bit and take our time to get in there. Yeah, that was like pretty quick into the hunt too. That was fucking scary.
I remember seeing that. It was like, I told myself in the head, like, I'm not gonna log walk, because now I have like a weapon in my hand.
Yeah.
And you know, God forbid, but I fall and then just break my bow or something.
Yeah.
Or it's not shooting the way I wanted to shoot.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, I'm just going to play it safe. We got a lot of logs here, but the clear way and like the clear path to make this happen is going to be patience, and we're not going to log walk in the morning.
So they learned from my rookie mistake when I almost stabbed myself into the ribs, had a collapsed lung. So we start hiking up, and the bugle's, you know, he's sounding off pretty good, so we can tell we're getting closer.
On his own.
We're hearing one.
But you guys aren't calling back or anything?
Not yet. We're hearing one very consistent call. and 1-2 more in the distance, but like one very consistent, very vocal bull. And I'm like, okay, this bull. He's talking. He wants to find something. So we start working in, and I give him one as we get like pretty close. I give one good solid bugle just to get him to sound off, so I can tell, is he in this cut or the next cut? Sounds off. I'm like, shit, he's in this cut. Like he's cut the distance, and we have too. He's working down, we're working up. And I'm like, we got to get up to this bench right here, and I'm going to start cow calling. It took us so long to get to that bench.
Yeah.
Like I thought we were going to get there pretty quick, but it was one of those like, get up, back out, go left, go up, back out, go right. Like took forever.
Yeah.
Forever. We finally get up to this bench. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start cow calling. We'll see what's going on. So I cow call, he bugles. I cow call, he bugles. Cow call, he doesn't bugle. And I'm like, okay, let's just wait. You know, I was trying to answer every bugle he gave with a cow call. And we're standing there, and then he bugles, and it's like, okay, he came. Like he stopped bugling because he was moving, you know?
You can tell he's cutting the distance.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, that bugle is way closer. He cut 100+ yards. Like he was coming to that cow call. And we're in a good spot, really good spot. We made a great stand. Like we picked a good spot where he had a stumpy dead log. Him and I were on this huge burn ponderosa on each side. So we're like covered. Made a great stand. Good decision on where to stand. And the bull's like bugling, looking for us, and he's getting pissed because now I've cut my cow calls to like 1 per bugle, you know, and he's like getting pissed trying to make the cow talk more. But he's getting closer, and Cam vapes. He's a big vape guy.
I'm a big wind indicating guy.
Okay,
Big
I'm
vape
glad
guy.
he clarified. Vaping, okay.
So I'm out there with my little puff bottle,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm like, okay, we got good wind. The thermals they're not dropping straight down. They're actually going down off the ridge. They're not just dropping straight down, because I was getting a little nervous there. And Cam blows this huge puff of smoke. And it was actually really nice because there's so much smoke in a vape, like so much fog. You can watch it 25 yards away and see what it's still doing, you know?
And
I'm just shaking my head.
Yeah, so I did say to Lorenzo, like, I'm going to be one of the best wind indicators you've had. Like, I already know how well the vape does, especially for a cameraman. You can just stand back, these guys doing their shit, and then I can just take a puff, and then they can see when the vape's like drifting over their shoulders, or if they don't see it, then it's all good.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to be honest right now. I've never heard this discussed
I'm
on
telling you.
any sort of thing, but it's...
So he told me that, but this is the first time I've now seen it in action. And I'm like, do it again. Do that again.
So it became a thing.
Yeah. And it's because I wanted to make sure it was rolling off that ridge and it wasn't dropping low, because this bull had gotten below us. And we're up on this ridge. We're 100 yards away from where we had that 6x7 the first morning. So I'm thinking it might be him, that when we failed the mission and got too close to him, thinking it might be him. We're literally 100 yards from where I put that pin on the map. And, I just wanted to make sure our wind wasn't just dropping straight down, and instead it was working that ridge and then dropping down. And so I'm like, dude, do it again. So he did it again, and I'm like, okay, it's definitely working that ridge. It's not dropping, even though that bull's kind of getting below us. And then I can't remember if it was Cam or me, saw his feet, his hooves, like 100 yards down into the live timber.
yeah, I heard him first, and then you could hear him sort of walking his way up towards that ridge where the vape was blowing down.
And where this bull stood, our scent could not have been more than 15 feet off his nose.
Yeah, like I was giving up at that point.
I'm like, oh, he's hitting the ridge line where our scent's going. And where his vape cloud hit and where this bull's nose was could not have been more than 10, 15 feet apart.
Yeah.
So like we're just off his shoulder from him being able to wind us. But the deadfall is so bad, he can't come up any further on that side. And he's standing there, and he bugled once, twice, 3 times. And we're like, well, I guess he's not hitting our scent. And he wanted to go that way, but he couldn't. There was too much deadfall. So then he cut into the burn, came out of the live timber into the burn. And he's got these big curvy fronts, big, beautiful 6-point dark horns, not the 6x7, but a beautiful bull. And I'll let Omar take it from here.
Yeah, so he's oh man, I'm gonna need a little bit of help. But he's coming in, and then
I've gone quiet on the cow calls to piss him off. Like I want him searching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's coming in. I think he came in first at like 70.
Yeah.
So he started like working in, And then 10 minutes prior to like all this happening, like when I think there was a point where I knew like this bull's gonna come in and I'm gonna probably get a shot opportunity here. I started just uncontrollably shaking, like legs, hands, just like I couldn't stop it. I don't know if it was a combination of like nerves and that cold like air, but like my legs were just like shaking like Elvis. Like it was just so uncontrollable, and it happened for like 30 minutes. You know, that whole scenario with the bull.
I could hear the
Yeah,
that kind of breathing.
exhales.
I'm like, hell yeah,
No, he's
here we
getting
go.
it.
I can hear on Lorenzo's voice too.
I'll admit all day long, I get so jacked up in those moments.
Yeah.
The second I don't get that jacked up, I'm done hunting.
The breathing was heavy.
Yeah. And
Dude, I get pumped in those moments. I love it.
And Lorenzo, you were like, control your breathing. I remember after like this whole thing happened, Kim was like, I was trying to control my breathing too. It wasn't just you.
Yeah. I told Omar, because I could hear that, that breathing. I'm like, take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. Everything's good. We got a great setup. Just take a deep breath.
And I heard Lorenzo say that, so I had to start taking deep breaths as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting just as excited.
Yeah, you're all helping each other right through this process. Like
Yeah.
you're all
Yeah.
have the same feelings.
Yeah. And it was
Yeah.
a beautiful bull, man. It was a great bull. It's
Yeah.
like hell of a first bull to call in. Like, holy shit, that's the one that came out of the timber? Whoa.
Yeah, so he starts working in. I see him at 70 yards. And at this point, I got the arrow knocked the whole time, but I'm like, here we go. Like this is what I've been dreaming for. Like all like those emotions start like kind of like putting themselves on my shoulder. I'm like, oh my gosh, like here we go. Like this is what you wanted the whole time, Omar. Like let's see if you got it. So he comes in, he starts working in, and then he kind of like gets like a position at 50 yards where he was behind a tree, so I couldn't see him, but these guys could see him. He was behind a tree, so I couldn't see him. I could kind of just see like antlers moving around, like the occasional hoof stepping down. But he's at 50 yards. Lorenzo's like telling me like he's gonna be at 50. So now we're kind of just waiting to see if he'll come out into a shooting lane. And I have like this one shooting, like he could have came out to the right, but he was gonna come out to the left. And he came out to the left to this one shooting lane that I had. He was at 50 yards, and I could see his body. And I confirmed with Lorenzo, and I was just like, Lorenzo was like, can you see his body? And I was like, yeah. So all right, like it's time to draw back and shoot him. And that's, kind of where a debacle occurred and everything just went black. Like, I could kind of recall that shot, but I started like freaking out. Like I remember, he's at 50 yards. So I'm like, all right, I get the green light. Pins at 50, draw back on the animal, and I'm kind of just like shaking. I couldn't even tell you if I checked my bubble or anything, which, that's a mistake on me. Definitely something that I'll take into account going into the next season. And I just did not go through my shot process whatsoever on that animal, which was unfortunate because I owe it to the animal, and kind of just like punched a shot to him. We found out later that it was a clean miss and hit the tree behind there, picked up the arrow and all that stuff. But, after that whole debacle happened, I was just kind of bummed out. I was like, here's my opportunity. There's, 320-ish bull.
315, yeah.
315.
Just a
yeah.
beautiful
bull.
bull.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Not
bull.
even, I didn't even look at the horns or nothing because I was trying to get that out of my
character.
head.
He had these big wavy fronts, like they dipped up roll and then kind of went like had some wave in them. Just a beautiful bull. Ivory tipped and dark horn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And shoot, and then he spooks off, and we see him run off, and he's gone forever. We go and check the arrow, make sure there's no blood on it or anything on there. No blood on the arrow. But yeah, I remember just going back there, and Lorenzo's down there. He's like, stand where you shot from. So he's like raging back. And he's like, yeah, it was a 50-yard shot, like
50.1.
Yeah, 50.1. So yeah, I missed that bull, and
We were talking about it though. It's hunting situation as opposed to target practice situation. He had, there's that tall mountain grass, and I think this is what made him send it high. I'm guessing, you were blacked out in the moment, so we were trying to figure it out. But like that grass is where he wanted to hold the pin, or where you should hold the pin. And I was telling him, I'm like, it's optically, I know it looks weird, but that at 50 yards, that arrow arc is perfect. You're going right over that grass. I mean, just put that pin right in the grass, just bury it into the grass where his vitals are, and that arrow's not going to touch any of it. It's that perfect length where your arrow's just over the top of it the whole time. It's going to arc right into it, like that. My guess is that's what made him punch it high, because optically, you're not on the animal, right? But that's a hunting situation. Is you're you gotta account for the drop. And it's like, you see the top third of him, but his vitals are wide open. You just have that grass that's 15 yards in front of you that you're seeing, It's like so anyways, I think that's why you might have punched it high, is just optically and mentally you're just like, no, as you're shooting.
Yeah. Yeah, so that happened. And to be honest, I was pretty bummed out because, all you could hope for is, Lorenzo is helping me get into that situation, and then all like I'm really focused on in that scenario is executing on a shot, and I completely failed the mission. So
it was an awesome mission though, because that bull was so curious, because when he got close, I shut up, and he's frustrated because he wants to find the cow, and I'm not calling back at him anymore. And there's deadfall everywhere, so he wants to go, but he can't. So he's like, doing the dove thing. He's changing directions every 5 seconds, trying to like work his way up this ridge because he's pissed, he's frustrated, wants to find the cows. I've gone dead silent on the cow call, and he's like, it was awesome because like the bull was in the mindset you want. He's curious, he's moving, he's going through shooting lanes, he's getting closer as much as he can with the deadfall. Gets to 50.1, and it's like, dude, that was a fun experience.
Right up until the arrow flying, it was like perfect.
So fun.
Sorry, boys.
That's what I was.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't mad about you missing either.
Oh yeah, this is an important part too.
Because it all builds up in story. Like, physically, I want to get the job done as quickly as possible and get out of there. But for the story's sake, all of this shit's awesome.
Well, not even that, but like you didn't have a shot, right? Like
the frame that I had, you can just see parts of his face and then just antlers. So it wasn't ever going to be the flashiest kill shot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This shit ain't Hollywood, and you just kind of you get stuck where you're stuck.
Yeah.
It's like everyone always wonders, why didn't you get the kill shot? This ain't Hollywood, bro. Like we're hunting. Like it's just what happens.
Yeah, you can't ask the bull to step to the right.
Yeah.
1 meter.
It's funny how things work, and it's the first archery big game animal. First big game animal.
There you go.
And
clarified.
It's like you can't just smoke your first.
No.
You got to have some debacle.
And this is all before 10 o'clock opening?
Dude, this is 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah. So from what I'd seen so far, it was like, we're in a good place. Yeah. We're going to have more chances.
But we hadn't been like in elk. We had just that 6x7 and the bull that was calling below him, and now this lone bull. So like we weren't in the mess of the rut. And I'm like, maybe the rut's not on. Maybe that's what it is. Because to see these two mature bulls coming into cow calls, like maybe the rut's just not on. It'll be a slower hunt, but at least they're responding to cow calls. So, my mind's a little like, we'll make it work. It might not be the experience that I have with trail, but we'll make it work. Like, I'm not worried about it. And, Omar how bad was he shaking after the shot?
Yeah, it's bad when it's visible on camera.
he's like,
bad's probably the wrong
why
word,
I'm shaking.
but
I'm like, I know exactly why you're shaking. You just drew back and shot at a beautiful bull elk, came in screaming. Like, that's why you're shaking.
Yeah.
Pretty understandable.
Yeah. Did you expect any of those feelings to feel that way after, like, getting a bull come in, shaking that uncontrollably? Like, you had probably an idea of what it was going to be like because you've seen a lot of videos, probably heard people talking about it, but like, what was it really like to experience that exact thing? And what do you think you could do? Or do you think there is a way to prepare for that? Or do you think you just got to be in those situations?
Yeah, I think one is like, and there's one thing Lorenzo tells me all the time is like, you just got to get good at killing.
Yeah.
So like, I think one is like being in those situations more. Like maybe, I think down the road, hopefully I control it more. But like even Lorenzo, who's been hunting elk for a long time, he's still shaking and he's not even shooting, right?
Yeah.
He's just ranging the animal, calling in, doing a bunch still. But like, I think it's one of those things where it's, I don't think it'll ever go away because it's something you can't control. Like you can't honestly put yourself in those situations enough to control your body. And I think that's something that's just the human aspect to hunting, and something that makes hunting so awesome is like you get these uncontrollable emotions. You don't know how your body's gonna, like how you are gonna do emotionally, physically. So one, I don't think I'll ever be able to control that. But I think what I can control is that drawback and that shot process, and just have that in my head. Like, all right, like this is, the scenario that I'm posted at. Like this is where the animal is at 50 yards. I can't get him to come, 20, as great as that'd be, that's not going to happen. But what I can control more, and what I thought I actually did a good job of was shooting, but I did not execute on my shot process whatsoever on that first shot. I kind of just, went into this blackout, drew back, and sent an arrow. Like, we'll get into it later, but there was another shot where I'm not even gonna talk about it. But yeah, it's just that shot execution. I just need to have that in my head, and no matter what the scenario is, whenever I draw back on an animal, it's my job and my responsibility to give that animal, a lethal shot if I'm deciding to send an arrow. So going forward is just like knowing that shot execution, drawing back the bow, and my levels all level, and I just feel calm as much as I can. And then letting it fly, because that will ultimately lead into a lethal shot into an animal.
And it's like one of those experiences that I do hope everyone gets to have in their life. Every new hunter, whoever listens to this podcast, like that moment right there,
special.
Is everything.
Yep,
is literally everything. There's the time you got the tag in your hand, all that prep through the whole off season. That's the moment you're waiting for, and when it happens, and even if it doesn't happen, it's still just the best feeling in the entire world. It's impossible to describe to anyone. Non-hunters will never understand it until you're in that situation and you're putting yourself there. That's the feeling.
Yeah.
That's why you continue doing things in life, just for that.
There's probably something wrong if you're not having that feeling.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
If you are calm on like your first kill, being that close to the bow, there's probably something wrong with you.
Yeah. This is exactly what I mean by you just have to get good at killing. And I am not ashamed to admit, and I'm actually very proud to admit, that I get so jacked up in those moments. And what I mean by being good at killing is like, I love the mental struggle of like getting a hold of myself in that moment where I am drawn back. And I love that second person in my mind, that higher self in my mind of like, you've done this before, get control, take a deep breath. I love that, like, so many emotions are spun out of control, and then having that wrestle in my head of like, you've done this, like get it back, get it back, come on, get it back. Well, and then you execute that shot, and then me personally, I have uncontrollable like responses after I let it fly, because I work so hard, because I do get so amped up, and I love that I get amped up, and I have to work so hard to calm myself down. And then afterwards, I'm just like, oh my God, total blackout.
It's a giant emotional adrenaline dump.
And that conversation about getting good at killing, because I'm not sure if it's the exact same here, but that actually came up when we were talking about buddies that I've got back home that spend a lot of time in the hills, and like some of these friends, they're still new to hunting, but they're spending a lot of time just looking at passing up animals. And that's awesome, like seeing a bull that's a bit young, that whole thing, but they spend so much time passing up animals just wanting to kill a giant that you start to forget how you actually kill something. And I think the same goes with the rifle as well, like being able to shoot in a position that's not set up ideally for shooting, for being able to track animals, for knowing when to pull the trigger. Just there's a whole process to actually killing an animal. And I think you start to lose touch with that if you go hunt after hunt after hunt, just letting things walk, hoping to kill a giant.
Yeah. And that getting good at killing, over the years, it's just like you have these convulsions in your body where you're like, I didn't even mean to shoot. I don't know how that shot went off. I didn't even mean to. But like your body just has these reactions. And if you don't have that conversation, that higher self conversation, when you're in that moment, drawn back or on the trigger, whatever it is, it's like, dude, you'll punch it. There's uncontrollable. You have to like, nothing is close to the trigger until you have control, and then you move into your trigger position. You know what I mean? That's that get good at killing thing.
Yeah.
So how hard was it to let those thoughts get out of your head and just forget about it and move on? Was it difficult?
It was 100% difficult.
I thought you did an awesome job though.
But
he didn't like mourn on the situation. Like it came and went, and he was good.
But and we're working on this, but I'm like someone who will mourn like mentally, and I'll just like beat, like the whole time up until we got into that other herd, like the whole time I was beating myself up.
As in he doesn't show it. Because I was thinking about that on camera after the situation. You can see him shaking, but his face is like
stoic,
normal. And then I'm like, how you doing? And he's like, oh yeah, that was exciting. And it's
How
like,
you
is
doing?
it like he really suppresses his feelings, but you know, it was a bit of a quiet.
His body
walk.
was shaking uncontrollably, literally uncontrollably, but his face was stoic, and he's like, I'm good. I'll get it figured out. And I'm like, something's going on in there,
Don't
bud.
look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, it was awesome for the rest of the situation because he had the, call it a practice run. Had that feeling, full draw, 50 yards, bull, everything you'd hope for.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think I said something along the lines when I finally decided to like let that situation pass and like, okay, that happened. Like I told, I'm a guy, I like comedy. I like joking around, especially back there. I was like, we didn't want it to be that easy anyways, right? So, and all the guys were like, no, exactly. That's exactly right.
you can't kill your
work for it.
first one. Come on. Can't do that.
Yeah.
No.
So anyways, we find a ton of sign, and I'm like, oh, this is where they're using this, right? Because it dropped us off into the bottom because the way he went dropped us off into the bottom. And I'm like, dude, this river creek bottom this thing is caked with bulls. There is a herd in here somewhere. Like I was thinking maybe there's just these one-off bulls that are maybe in transition pre-rut kind of a thing, like just looking for cows. That's why we're only seeing bulls, and that's why they're coming into calls. Maybe they're searching, whatever it is. But the amount of sign in that creek bottom was like, okay,
It was like New York City.
there's a pile in here somewhere. We're just not on them yet. And clear up the ridge at 11,200 feet. And we're at like 8,500 feet or something. We hear a bugle, faint bugle. And we're like, well, that must have been where he went. And there's nothing doing down here. So eat some lunch. Sometimes the best way to kill a bull is take a nap.
Yeah.
We laid there, took a little nap, ate some food,
Got some water.
waterlogged ourselves just because that other creek was dry. It's like, all right, let's go up and over the ridge. And the beautiful thing, no one complained. No one even thought twice about it. We're like, yep, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
We get up to the top. I can't hear worth a shit. I have tinnitus horrible in both my ears. My ears ring constantly. I actually had a comment on my gear list of like, oh, you sleep with earplugs? You must not have any ringing in your ears. It's like, no, I actually have horrible ringing. It's like my built-in white noise though. When I put in earplugs, it's like built-in white noise. I don't need a white noise machine. I'm just, that ringing in my ears kind of lullabies me to sleep, So I'm up at the top. We get to the top. We all get to the top. And I'm like, Omar, are you hearing that? It's like, yeah, it sounds like a ton of bugles. I'm like, it almost sounds like it's just one constant bugle. Is that the wind in the trees? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Is that really what I'm hearing? And, you and Cam both have never been in like that true cyclone of an elk rut. So you guys are like, I don't know, I think, It's not like Trail who's like, yep, I know exactly what that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't hear worth a shit. Those guys haven't heard it before. So we're all kind of looking at each other going, man, is this wind in the trees? What the hell's going on? We start dropping off this ridge. This is the highest ridge in the unit, by the way, like ridge line that runs to the top. So we're clear at the top of that, and we start working down, and it is a steep face, and it goes for a long ways down to the deepest bottom of a creek bottom. It's like, of course, right? The highest ridge, of course, is going to be connected to the lowest creek bottom. It's just the way it works.
Goes.
So we start working off this ridge, and we're losing a lot of elevation. And I think I was the first one to complain. Honestly, I think I looked at you guys like, are we really doing this? We're committing to the bottom?
First one to complain out loud.
Out loud, yeah. I looked at them like, you guys cool? We really doing this? We're dropping clear to the bottom? And they're like, yep, cool, let's go. So we start dropping off. And then the bugles started getting, you can tell they're bugles. And we all looked at each other like, what the fuck is going on down there?
You dropped into a bugle party?
We dropped into, well, first off, mission failed again. I was pushing a little too hard without really listening. I was amped up after that, after that shot and all this stuff. And I pushed a little too hard without listening to what's going on and getting a real good feel. And we had great wind, so I was just pushing hard. Well, we get to this bench and I go to take a step, and I literally just, you would have thought I stepped on a log and slipped. I literally took this step and just went over to my side. There's 50 cows 40 yards away from me.
Oh, gosh.
And the sun, it's afternoon now, and we're facing we're facing west. And so the sun is just beating on us. And I've dropped down and I look at them. I'm like, dude, we can't move. No one move. We look like a bunch of flashlights up here, you know?
I never knew that. I never knew that they were that close.
Yeah, they were 40 yards.
Because I was probably 20 yards behind them. So so I thought you guys were freaking out, and then maybe 20 minutes later is when I eventually peeped over your shoulders and saw them maybe like 200 yards away.
Yeah.
I never realized they were that close.
And that was the lower group. The higher group, the higher group of 40 cows, there was 100 cows total. We'll just fast forward that part. But 40 of them were like right below me. And I told Omar, I'm like, we can't move. Your bow's going to shine. The camera's going to shine. Our binos are going to shine. Like, he went to pull out his binos. I'm like, no. Like, we look like mag lights up here. We got to sit tight. Well, we're sitting tight. And I'm like peeking to see where a bull is, because I just see these cows, but I hear bugles. Like, I mean, it is one constant bugle is how many bulls were down there all making noise. I'm like, dude, we found the herd. We are on them. And I'm moving around. I'm like snaking around kind of on my belly looking, and I see the herd bull coming up. But he's clear to our right. Like, he was kind of fending off the satellite bulls below him. And we couldn't have got a shot either because, I mean, all those cows and were a bunch of mag lights sitting there. So I don't know what to do. And I told Omar, I'm like, I see the herd bull. He's big. Like, his bull is big. And I'm looking. I look to my left, and of course, there's two cows, 200 yards left that just have us pinned, and they probably had us pinned since the start. Mm-hmm. And I never looked over there like an idiot. Rookie mistake again, thinking all the cows are just right there. Of course, there's two cows over to our left that just had us pinned the whole time.
Little lookouts.
And they finally barked and busted. And the century cows, the ones I despise. But we had such good wind and everything. They pushed down to the lower bench and calmed back down. So now they're like 200 yards away. And we can move, we can glass, everything's calmed back down. How many bulls?
So many.
How many bulls?
It was the coolest thing ever. You said something about that.
Yeah, it was wild shit. And like, obviously I've got footage of it, so you can sort of see what we were seeing. But like, I don't know, in one frame, you don't exactly see how many animals are actually there, because they're all moving through the timber, all squealing screaming the whole time.
I remember just thinking, like, this is like National Geographic, and these are just like ants running all over like this hillside. And it was the coolest thing I could, like, everything that I ever wanted to experience in an elk hunt, even though I hadn't killed them, I was experiencing right there. And it was just like the coolest thing ever. Like, looking at this big herd bull, there's this other second bull that was big with him, and then like all these other satellite bulls that are all 6x6s. And I'm like, this is just like an elk hunter's dream. And I'm like pinching myself. I'm like, is this even real life?
He was so over my shoulder every 5 seconds. Like, this is so awesome. This is so cool. Did you see that bull? Did you see this bull? I'm like, yeah, bro, this is wild. This is so cool. I can't believe it. This is unbelievable. This is National Geographic. I'm like, soak it in, man. This is wild. So we're watching these bulls, and we're making little moves. We got so much time left in the afternoon, so we're just making little moves 20, 30 yards at a time, and not really pushing in on them to go kill one, but just staying close to them. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I'm known to dramatize things. I don't really give a shit. There's 30 bulls, 35 bulls, and 150 cows.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might be a little high.
Too many to count.
That's what, in my mind's eye, they were everywhere, and there was that many animals. And this bull's a 6 point. This bull's a 6 point. Look at that bull. That bull's got cool turned in backs. This bull's got a huge back end. This was like so much fun to look at. So we're sitting on the hill, and all of them kind of drop off that. So they dropped a bench. We were on a bench. The cows were 40 yards to us. They all dropped off one bench lower. Then they all started feeding off that bench. And as they start to feed off that bench below us, I'm like, dude, big push. Let's go. And
remember we saw those bulls fighting?
Yeah, there's two bulls fighting, and the one peeled off
Yep.
and went to go start raking a tree.
Yeah.
Great time to stalk a bull.
Yep.
Phenomenal time to stalk a bull with no cows. So I'm like, dude, get your shit. Let's go. So we're like, I'm getting ready to Usain Bolt down this hill because this bull's in no cows, all by himself. He's the last one on the ridge raking in these trees. You can get so close to bulls when they're doing shit like that with no cows. I've done it before. It's so fun to hunt a bull like that, a lone bull. And as we get about a third of the way there, big old bull, turned in back fist, the fist that turned in that we saw earlier, starts coming back towards us. And I'm like, halt, stop. Let's all lay down. So we're there, and I start cow calling. He starts bugling. I start cow calling, and he's like real interested. And he beds down because he's like, his body language to me is he was pissed. Like, dude, you're the only cow left up there. You're coming down to us. I'm not coming up there. Just back and forth. He beds down, bugling from his bed. I cow call. He bugles, and he's not moving. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do. This bull's still raking in the trees, but this bull, like, do we bump him? But the whole herd's behind him. I don't know what to do. It starts spitting rain. Not crazy.
We hear the thunder.
We heard the thunder, but it wasn't. None of us put rain gear on. We were all just sitting there because it was just a little spit of rain.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the clouds, and there's some blue sky, and I'm like, no rain gear. And we're sitting there, and breaks off for a little bit, and then it comes back in, spitting rain, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. This bull's bedded there. Do we push him? Next thing we know, this rainstorm comes in.
It was some hail.
It was a torrential downpour.
Yeah.
Like sleet, bit of hail, rain, cold.
So I dig my tarp out of my bag because we got a bull bedded 100 yards away, 120 yards away from us.
Gosh.
I dig it out and I just cover myself. I'm just laying under the tarp. I hear them. They start. He's got camera gear. He's got to protect it. You did risk it though.
Yeah, I was risking the biscuits. That's for sure.
I did. He didn't have a rain fly, but me being the guy I am, I threw him my rain fly.
Look at
Nice
you.
guy.
Yeah, so smart.
He didn't pack one for me.
Sorry. I didn't know.
I'm glad you clarified that.
That wasn't on the gear list request.
Yeah, but it's the hardest things filming those situations because that's epic shit, Like that's as a hunter, that's when you're reminded how much of a pussy we are when that weather comes in. Animals are happy as they're just carrying on. Life's normal.
Dude, this thing's bedded, bugling at us,
and we're stressing out about the rain. So I want to capture that, but it's like, man, if I start pulling out my cameras, that's like my livelihood, and just two little bodies right there. But yeah, we just end up by hanging out. I got some shots of it, like I was filming Lorenzo pulling his tarp over, all of that.
That's a pro move, right? Very little movement and get everything covered. And then I hear Omar. I mean, no one did anything wrong. I'm not saying any of that, but like I can hear them start digging in their packs and pulling out rain gear and all this shit. And I'm like, oh, okay, like this bull, he's 125 yards. Like
he's gonna hear something.
We're screwed. Whatever.
Says the guy pulling over like a giant fly.
But I stayed low. It's like it's a way to
Flapping in the wind.
No. It's like I was on my side. I pulled it out. It's one of those like that's why I like having a tarp is, no zippers, no this, no that, no moving, no putting on a jacket, your arms flailing. You just kind of like lean over, and all that noise. And that rainstorm was so bad. Like you got to do what you got to do. So anyways, that bull gets up and starts walking off. I hear Omar cow calling. I peek out from underneath my tarp, and he's like, "Oh, it's moving over there." I'm like, "Look," like that bull's like he doesn't like what he saw. We're all making a bunch of noise and rain gear and shit now. That bull moves off, but the other one's still in the trees raking. It's like 10 minutes later, he's still.
Well, there was a fawn, was it?
Oh yeah, that little
a fawn or a yearling, not sure what you call
yearling.
them. That busted off, and that thing was sitting probably 40, 50 yards off us.
Yeah.
Like that was right in the gut. And then so while Lorenzo was under his fly, I actually filmed the bull, and he had seen her bust off, and he actually ended up by moving around us and then following her into some thicker.
Yeah, and they
thicker
dropped
US
off,
ones.
but then it left that bull in the raking the tree open. And I'm like, dude, let's go. Like this is our chance. So I put rain gear on because he's in the he's facing away from us, raking this tree 200 yards away. So we have full rain gear on and we're dropping off. And of course, like as we start making that big push, he finally stops raking the tree. He'd been doing it for 10, 15 minutes, literally. Yeah. Like forever. It would have been, if that bull that turned in fifth bull, if he didn't come out in bed, like who knows what would have happened. But he finally starts moving. So we're hunting now and it's cold. It's one of those like
after the rain.
high country after rain, cold, and it's still really wet. So I still have my rain gear on because everything's soaking wet. I look back at Omar, and we're in elk though. Like we're in them. We're no more than 200 yards off these elk, and I'm cow calling, and they're responding. And I look at Omar. He's got nothing on. He's got a t-shirt on.
What?
I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like we are moving right now. Yeah, I don't think I can make a shot with rain gear on. I'm like, okay.
All right, it's being honest
And
at
it's,
least.
and it's still like misting, so we're wet and it's cold. He's out there with no rain gear, just a t-shirt, and we're chasing these elk. And that like post-storm wind mist, it's real loud, you know? So we used it as a opportunity to push in really tight in the middle of this herd. Like we used it to just push right into the middle of them because everything was so loud. We had a bull at 60 that was feeding.
Yep. And the one that was in the aspens right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
So
bull.
they were feeding.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 6 point. And waiting for him to feed out and, you know, post-storm wind swirled. He was going to come out at like 55 in our shooting lane. He was feeding right to it. If we had an extra, 3 minutes, he probably would have fed through that.
Yeah, I want to. Another rookie mistake that I made was I kind of drew back, like pretend like I would like not with my bow or anything, but like put my hands in that position. I was like, this doesn't feel like normal. Like I don't know if you could ever like people ever practice in Vegas. I mean, excuse me, ever practice in rain gear, let alone in Vegas.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna take this off, and I was like super loud. And I remember you saying like, we can't do that again. That was really loud.
Really loud.
And I was like, learning experience, like. If I'm gonna put on this rain gear, I got to commit to taking a shot with it.
Yeah.
So I
Because
remember
we were in tight at that moment too. When
we're-
you took it off and put it in your bag, I'm like, dude, that was loud.
Yeah, and I ripped off my pack and everything. So I was like, shit, maybe I shouldn't do that next time. But yeah, then from there, I kind of just committed to I'm gonna freeze my butt off and I'm gonna
you
get
did.
rained on, and I did freeze my butt off.
But like, so now we're in the middle of this herd, and I'm just cow calling, waiting for bulls to come in because we got satellites to our left. We got the 2 herd bulls with all the cows to our right. That was a damn cool experience too because we were so close to them. I mean, we were 150 yards from the 2 herd bulls, all the cows.
And the audio is just screaming bulls.
And we're swallowed up
So cool.
by the satellites. Like we have them cut off. All felt really good.
It was a good position because those cows were like up ahead.
Yeah.
And we were just starting to make our way in. Like we were almost fully 360 surrounded by bulls. We just didn't have bulls like to where we came from.
Yeah.
But we had bulls all to the left.
Like
and right in front of
270
us.
degrees of us was surrounded by elk.
Yeah.
And we're calling, but it's one of those things where like all of them are responding, all the satellites, they just won't break the timber line. You know, they just won't break that line of trees right in front of you to get a shot. You can see them, you can hear they're breathing down your throat essentially with the bugles. It's like, man, we just need one to break. Post-storm wind again, swirls, cows get it. But it was like a real kind of pussy-footed bust, you know? It wasn't a true bust. It was like a whatever.
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
Move
Yeah.
off.
Like something's not right.
That's a good way to put it. Like we were 125 yards away from them. They must have just got one cow, probably just got like a slight, what the hell was that kind of a thing. And they just pushed 20 yards into the trees. Instead of being in the burn, they just pushed 20 yards into the trees. Not a true bust, but it allowed us to move again because they couldn't see
so
us
helped.
anymore. So we pushed a little bit lower and we started working back to the south, all those satellite bulls.
Is this
So we
still
just-
deadfall?
Oh, horrible.
Yeah.
We started working back to the south of those satellite bulls that had broke off some of the cows. And so we're moving in on the bugles that we're hearing. You know, when you have 100 cows with 2 herd bulls, good luck. Like you're going to need 25 days to kill one of those bulls. You know what I mean? You just need to get wildly lucky. I'm like, let's go call in, you know, I like to call in elk. That's why I hunt them. I don't really give a shit about, you know, herd bulls and all that. I like the setup of elk. So this is where I can get along with trail. This is mine and trail's thing. I don't want to hunt them if they're not bugling. That's like the only time that they're fun. But we start working them back to the south. Dude, we were making so much noise chasing this bugle. And Omar and I, we come across this creek, like this deep creek. We're cracking branches, everything. All of a sudden, this bull busts, like 10 yards from our right. And we're like, where did that bull come from? Like, he didn't bugle, no cows. We're chasing, where did that bull come from? I'm like, dude, that would have been awesome if we would have just seen him and let him kind of work out in front of us. That would have been fantastic. That was great. Well, we worked down the ridge another 150 yards, and I start calling, and I'm pretty damn sure it's the same bull. I'm almost positive it's the same bull that we bumped at 10 yards, but he had a cow. Now, and we made the stand in the perfect little stand, this little pinch.
Remember, like before we did that, it was because like this whole ordeal from start to end, it was like 6:30 or 6-ish.
6.
Yeah, it was like 6-ish, and we're almost like at that point where like we know where they're at. We're like, we're on him. Should we kind of like wait out
Should
here?
we pull
hydrate?
camp? Yeah. Should we pull up and pull camp? Should we hydrate? Should we stop at this creek we just passed, this Wallowing Creek? Like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And I looked at Omar. I said, what do you want to do? You want to chase that bugle? And Omar was like, fuck yeah. So perfect. I'll chase it with you.
Yeah.
So we start chasing this bugle, and we got to this pinch of aspens and pines. There was like this little perfect little pinch where to our left was all burn and deadfall. 100 yards below us was all aspen region, like all aspen saplings. So we're kind of in this little like pocket. And I started cow calling, and this bull bugles, and we responded to the cow call again. Bugles like, oh shit, he's coming, like for sure coming. Let's all tuck into this. Let's all tuck into this little pinch. And coming out of the aspen region was a cow, and I'm like, oh no, like he's got a cow, and it's a 6-point bull right on her tail. And this is probably one of the cooler shot sequences, right? Because it was, I mean, it's so close. It's just out of shooting range. It was like 80 yards to those aspen saplings. Yeah. And every time I would cow call, that cow wanted to get the hell away from that bull. So she was coming into the cow call, and the bull was just following whatever she did. But, you know, any weekend warrior elk hunter like myself cannot cow call good enough to make a cow believe it's a cow when you're actually like face to face. So every time she'd break the aspen saplings, I'd stop calling because I don't want to bust her. She would know immediately that is not a cow calling. And every time they'd turn to go back into the aspen saplings, I'd cow call again and turn her back around. It happened 3-4 times.
Yeah, I think it was 3 or 4 times.
I mean, this is like a 15-minute stand. Jeez. Where she'd want to come into the cow call, and she'd look for it, and she'd mew a couple times. And then that bull would drive her so crazy, she would turn around and dip back off below the bench. Then I'd cow call again. She'd come back out, she'd poke her head out looking, and bull would drive her crazy, and she'd go back into the aspen region. I just kept doing it, not really knowing what to expect. Like the 4th or 5th time, I can't remember. I think it was the 4th time I cow called. All I see is antler tips and no cow. I'm like, here we go. Like he ditched that cow. He's sick of her. Dude, this bull, he came from 80 to 30 in
so fast.
I mean, in 5 seconds, 10 seconds, just clearing like that horse dressage, clearing deadfall, bugling, growling. And at the time, Omar, because he's like, I need exact yardage. I'm like, dude, elk hunting doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
They move so much. It doesn't. He's like, I need exact yardage. I'm not wounding a bull. I'm like, I lied to him. 100%.
That's pretty good.
100% lied to him. You know, he shoots a fast bow, 280 feet per second. Yeah. Dude, the difference on a bull elk, the difference between 30 and 45, or even like 30 and 50, you're going to kill him. You know, like you're either going to heart shot him or high lung shot him. You know, and I'm not saying that out of disrespect and like not care. I'm saying it out of experience. I'm saying it out of fact. Their kill zone and your archery tackle, like, dude, you're still right in the sweet spot. If I tell you 35 and he's 45, okay, you hit him closer to the heart than you did top of the lung. Like it's just matter of fact. And that's what I mean by getting good at killing too, is like just getting that visual. If I pick my top pin or my third pin, I'm either high lungs or I'm low heart. Like, doesn't matter.
He has the dial.
He
single
refused. And I don't know if you can hear it in audio, but he's like yelling at me, I need exact yardage. I'm like, dude, he's moving so fast. I need exact yardage. I'm like, he's 50 now, he's going to be 30. And I just, off the top of my head, I didn't have my rangefinder. I didn't even think about ranging it. I'm just like, he's on this path. Yeah. He's getting closer. He looks 50 now. My guess is he's going to be 30. If he's 40, who gives a shit? Just shoot him, you know? So I lied to him. I'm like, he's going to be 30, right at 30.
Yeah.
And
so when he was at 50, he's like, Lorenzo was like, he's going to be 30. In my mind, I thought he like ranged like the spot, and I was like, okay, sweet. He's going to be 30. So I dialed back. And
that's how much he trusts me, you know?
Yeah. Are you plugging your ears at this point, like you did last year with your wife?
I got made fun of so much.
I just have to throw it out there.
No, I got made fun of. I was not plugging my ears on an archery shot.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that film to come out.
I haven't heard that.
I'm not lying how jacked up I get in those situations. I'm not lying. And when I don't have the weapon in my hand, I don't have to get control of my mind. I let myself go. You know what I mean? because I don't need to make a shot. So I let myself feel all of it. 2 years ago, my wife, it's on film. Cody Bohr was filming it for us. She draws her bow back.
He literally
and I plug my ears. I don't know. I black out. Gunshot. I don't know. I plugged my ears and I got made fun of so bad. I did not do that. I just love
we have that footage. And we all looked at it internally at the office.
Yeah. Still.
No plugging ears. Okay, we got that out of the way.
Still getting made fun of for that.
Yeah, just show me the clip as soon as we're out of here.
Yeah.
We'll airdrop it to you later.
I think he's going to be 30. I had no clue.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be 30. And I remember Lorenzo said, draw, like now. And I said, okay. Which, like, shout out to Lorenzo, like, freaking the whole way, like, helped me out.
It's walking me through it.
Like, like similar to what you did with my bear.
Yeah.
The same thing, which, is a huge blessing of working here and being, like, around you guys and hunting with you guys. So I'm like, all right, here we go.
He jumped a log, and right when he jumped it, he kind of put his nose down, and he kind of had his nose on the ground, sniffing. I'm like, draw, now. Yeah. And that was a perfect time to draw.
Yeah. And then you were like, tell me when to stop him. Tell me when to stop him. And he's like, now? You're like, now? I was like, no, not now. And then I was like, okay, now. So you mewed, stop the bull. And, it's at 30 yards. And I drawn back already. And I remember just looking at my pin and this time settled and, like, everything in. And then, like, had my first experience with, like, dealing with, like, I like to think of it as, like, a little devil and a little angel. Like talking to you and just like, dealing with those emotions and making sure everything's leveled, everything feels good. And like, I feel calm as much as I can in that situation. So, calm the nerves down. I remember like, it felt like 10 minutes, but I remember like looking at like right where I was going to shoot, for like, it was probably like a split second, but I remember like knowing like where I was going to shoot and like, it just felt so long. And then just being like locked into that position, like everything just felt right. I drew back. I had the whole animal in my sight. Like I could see like the whole animal outside of my
sight housing.
Yeah, my sight housing. And then I just focused into like that one spot where I wanted to place that arrow and then let it go. And it probably wasn't like the best shot. It felt really good.
Really good shot. It was a very good shot.
I would have liked that a little bit for like a little bit more back, like 5 inches, a little bit back.
So you tucked it close to the shoulder?
Yeah. Very close to the shoulder.
Yeah. I would have liked a little bit back, but
it's always nice to get that pass through and go find your arrow.
Yeah.
And it's caked in blood. He hit more into the blade of the shoulder, so it penetrated 16 inches. I mean, beautiful shot. Just not where you go get your arrow. He's running away with the arrow in him.
Yeah, and shoot him, and then he tries to like run up to the top of the hill, but goes like 5 yards, and he's like stopped by deadfall. So he runs all the way down to back where he's like about 60, 50-ish yards. I think it was like at 56 or something. And you ranged him. He's like, oh, he's at 56. Like, send another one. And having that sight, I'm like, trying to dial everything back. Now I'm shaking and kind of like, oh my gosh, like, now it's starting to hit. Like, I just shot a bull, and everything's starting to hit. And I'm like, oh man, like, I wish I had, because I would have just drawn back and sent another one if I would have had a 3-pin or 5-pin sight. But then, as I'm getting ready, as the arrow's knocked and I'm getting ready to draw again, we just see that bull, just fall on its back. And then, that's where the celebration started.
Oh,
there's so much deadfall. There's so much deadfall. He like didn't know he was getting, blacking out sick. And so he like just kind of stopped. And then, cause there's so much deadfall, he stood there for 5 seconds and then just backflipped over. I'm like, no blood trail. Let's go.
Was some bear hugs afterwards? What went on?
Man, I was so pumped for him. I'm so pumped. Just because, dude, the execution was, and it's one of those things that was perfect where like he broke. I probably did a really bad job of calming the situation because when he broke the aspen saplings without the cow, I'm like, dude, get ready. Like it's happening.
Up. So he's probably getting amped up.
I probably should have been like a little calmer about it, but I got pretty, when he broke without the cow, I'm like, dude, this is on. And then he's arguing with me about the range. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Set it to 40. No, I need exact yardage. I'm like, set it to 40. No, I need exact yardage. 30. So
you said it convincingly. All right, he's going to be 30. I'm like, okay.
So I lied to him. And I'm like, all right, draw now. And so he drew, and the bull's still going. I'm like, tell me when he's in your window. And he goes, no, not now. I go, mew. And the bull just on the brakes.
Mew?
Yeah, I just mew. And on the brakes, and it's just that perfect, like that 6-point rack just turns and looks at us and like looking into the trees, like, what the fuck was that? And he's just pinned there. And his vitals are wide open. And he smashed it. Like, great shot. The only thing, it wasn't a pass through. It was more in the shoulder blade. But the bull went 30 yards. Yeah. I mean, literally 30 yards.
Fixed blade, mechanical.
Come on.
G5 Montec only.
King right now.
Yeah, Renzo does have a tattoo of a
Back
G5
when I was
Montec.
dumb enough to get tattoos of things like broadheads, I got a G5 Montec. So that's all I can shoot.
Yeah. And Lorenzo was like, see, G5 Mont, that's why you shoot G5s. And I'm like, I'm sold. These are going to be my hunting
and let's
equipment
also
every year.
mention that when Lorenzo guessed 30 yards, we ranged the shot.
Yeah.
And it was like
29.2.
bang on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Renzo's good at
29.2.
yardage when it comes to elk.
Dude,
That's from experience too. You know?
experience, but also total blind luck. The whole thing in my mind is, we shot your bow through a chronograph. I know how you shoot. We've shot in the desert for months leading up to this hunt. Like, dude, the difference between 30 and 48, the bull was dead.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
One thing I've heard you talk a lot about too, which maybe you're subconsciously you were doing that, you count steps.
Yeah.
You always count the elk steps. So that's what you use to kind of like do your yardage judge. You might have got it. Maybe you got it range earlier. I don't know.
I got a range on a dead tree when he first came out with a cow that was 62.
So you might have been subconsciously counting steps, and that might have helped you to say it was 30 yards.
Yeah, I knew that tree was 62. He passed in front of it, so he's closer than 62.
Yep.
And he's on an angle that's coming closer to us.
Bringing him to you, yeah.
You know, so I'm like, he's not further than 50, and he's like moving fast. Like, he's closer than 40. Like, just shoot him.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the coolest experience ever. Yeah. I mean, like I told Lorenzo, like, dude, I've been waiting to do this for 3 years. Like, ever since, like, you know, I'm a late onset hunter, and I was like, dude, I've been waiting to do this like for 3 years. And, you know, we celebrated there, and it was just like so awesome. And like that whole hunt, I could see like Lorenzo hunting it like it was essentially like his tag. Like, he almost probably put in more effort than like, I was just trailing behind him.
100% I put in more effort to your tag. 100%.
Omar and I
heard it
were
here
talking
first.
about it on the drive, and like, we wouldn't have been nearly as happy if Lorenzo killed.
Yeah.
Like, it was just Omar killing a bull in the first one. Because like, it was for me as well. Like, if I was watching or filming Lorenzo kill one, it's like, sweet as, this guy's been here, neat, sort of job done. Like, you know, it's still epic, but just Omar killing
awesome.
like a phenomenal first bull on a true hunt, like a true wilderness backpack struggle street hunt. That was cool.
It was awesome.
And it died in sight,
Dude, that was really cool.
which is a pretty cool experience for your first one.
To watch him drop in sight was awesome. And that's, dude, it ended up being, I think Cam was the first one to say it when we got to the bull, and, you know, we're exhausted. We hadn't really been able to eat from noon till you shot at 6:30
Like
or
6:30,
something.
yeah.
Like, we really hadn't been able to eat because we were on elk the whole time. We're exhausted. We went through that rainstorm, the whole thing. So first thing I do is break out food. I'm eating. We're like pretty tired. I mean, that first bull encounter was 7:15 in the morning. This is now 6:45 at night. And Cam goes, I'm pretty sure it was you. You go, that was literally a week's worth of hunting in one
it
day.
was.
Yeah, that's a good way to put
That's
it.
how it felt. Weather, encounters, emotional roller coaster, all of it.
It was a week's worth in 24, in what was that, 12 hours of elk hunting?
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was wild. And it was so physical. Like, you know, this is where Brady, the Brady Suck Fest, we were proud of us. It's so goddamn physical, that hunt is, just in general. And then we got a bull elk on the ground,
And now we're like, shit.
and we got 3 guys. One guy is already over 70 pounds with his back. So we're like very conscious of that. We're like, well, it's one haul out of here because we got to get to my hunt unit, you know? So we quarter, he bones it out. I cape out the head so we can lose all that weight and ripping jaws off, all that stuff. And it's like, man, this is still really heavy. Like, for 3 people who have camp on their back, I'm at 50, you're at 50, he's at 72. It's like, all right. Like, I don't know we got to get this done because we're not coming back in here. We're so far. You literally couldn't get further back than we were in that point. And not to sound cool or make it sound any cooler than it was, but that is easily the biggest day, heaviest pack I've ever done. And I've been hunting for 25 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one you remember.
And that was Omar's first. So I told Omar, I'm like, bro, it's kind of crazy to think that your first pack out is my hardest pack out in 25 years.
Yeah.
Like we literally couldn't be deeper and we only have 3 guys and we're all over 50 pounds right now before we even put this meat in.
What was it like, Omar, walking up to that bull and just seeing their body size for the first time? They're huge.
They're huge. That's why I don't know why people, it sucks getting them off, but they're so fun to hunt. Like, you know, like, but like walking up to that thing, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is huge. And like, then like the logistics in my head starts creeping in, like, how are we gonna get this thing out? But I wasn't trying to let that be in my head too much yet. I was like, all right, we'll deal with that tomorrow. Or like, you know, later off when we got the meat and we're feeling how heavy these bags are. But, you know, I got up to the animal and I was just like, wow, like I couldn't believe like that it finally happened. Like elk hunting like has been my pinnacle, like, you know, knockoff thing for so long, for 3 years since I graduated college. And that's like the one thing that I want to do. Like, you know, once I had a year of like, okay, I like hunting. And then like after that year, I was like, I'm going to absolutely immerse myself in hunting. Like I want to work, you know, for a hunting company. Eventually started working for GOHUNT last August. So now it's like a full year of being at GOHUNT, 3 years of like being obsessed with like hunting. And I'm like, okay, like I can't believe it's taken all this long. And like, just like all like, I mean, I've like, not to like make it sound cliche, but like I've like dreamed about elk hunting. And I've dreamed about this scenario for so long that like it finally happened was just like, it meant the world to me. And to be able to share it with Lorenzo, an awesome person like Cam too, it was just like an amazing experience. I didn't cry, but like I could have cried.
Oh yeah. Those
awesome.
moments are the best.
I remember him when we walked up to the bull. We were just talking about like, dude, how amazing is that? Like 99.9% of people don't even know this exists. Like what we just witnessed today. Like they might see it on National Geographic and all this, but like it's no bullshit to see what we saw that day, that cyclone of a rut happening. It's like, dude, 99.9% of people will never experience this. We're talking about it. And I'm talking to Omar. I'm like, how cool is that? He goes, I want to kill everything. Like now I want to kill everything. I'm like, good, dude. That's the mindset.
Yep.
But like one thing too that Lorenzo, like, you know, did a good job keeping in mind is like, it's not always like this, dude. Like you are the lucky one who, you know, all the stars lined up for you. And like we have an amazing hunt just happen. You know, it doesn't always happen like this, which is true.
Was proven.
It was proven.
24 hours later, we'll make this part of the podcast very quick. We pulled off. We made it in one shot.
Well, sorry, on that note of how amazing that was and how a lot of people won't experience it, even for people listening, like one thing that you can learn is when you plan a trip, plan an epic adventure.
Yeah.
You know, like if you want to have as much fun as we're having, like, you've got to strike it lucky with getting in amongst a massive herd. But if you plan a good adventure where you go days on struggling, when it does come right, it's going to feel better than any other hunt where you started from the truck, you're sleeping at the truck, you're doing things easy.
Yep.
Nothing compares to like going through so much struggle and getting rewarded for it.
And that's it. Like, look, yes, we were in there for 2.5 days, but those 2.5 days is like a month of a different hunt just because of how physical, how much elevation you lose to check a spot, to gain, to check a spot, lose, to follow elk, to gain, to go to the next ridge. And it's like the deadfall, it was so, that place is so beyond physical. Yeah. It's like all you need in there is 2.5 days to really feel those highs and lows and miss a bull and have to relocate them and then the whole thing and then the rainstorm and freezing your ass off, that whole deal. It's like it was a week's worth in 2.5 days.
Yeah, that's the best venture.
And then to pull an animal off that mountain as far as we were in. And then I wanted to make a point to say this on the podcast too. I was so pumped to hear Omar say it, but we're like walking down. And you know, it's always a really good sign when you see people on a trail because you know you're getting close, right? Like those day hikers. And we had been hiking since 10 something in the morning and this is well late into the afternoon. We finally come across our first group of people, and Omar was talking about, man, I hope we pass somebody with this elk on my back. You know, he wanted that moment.
Yep.
Dude, we were thinking it's like a delinquent camp or something. You know what I mean? Like a
Wait, what?
like a corrections camp.
Yeah, like a youth.
Like a youth corrections camp.
Yeah,
You know what I
like a
mean? Like
wilderness
troubled
retreat,
youth kind of thing.
Yeah, put them through some torture, some
Yeah,
suffer.
so all these kids they don't know what lives in those mountains, you know? It's like part of that 0.1% I was just talking about. And we go walking through, and there's literally 20 of them, and they're blocking up the trail, and all of them are like jaws on the floor. Omar's got a 6-point bull caped out, you know, skull showing. We got meat, blood dripping everywhere. We're walking through, and Omar goes, "That was so fucking cool. I don't know what it would be like to pull up to somewhere in a Lamborghini, but like, that's what it feels like." Everyone's floor, like jaws are on the floor. I'm like, good for you, man.
Yep.
You got that experience.
You got that experience.
And then also later, we're walking down, like we saw another hiker, and this hiker's like, "Nice rack," and I'm like, to Lorenzo was like, "Well, that's the only way out. That's like the only time I'll hear nice rack without being a girl in my life."
That is true.
I was holding because I was right behind because it was a lady that said it, and I was so close to saying, "Yeah, you too." It took everything not to say that,
And you did good, and you didn't say it.
Yeah,
Held it in.
But that pack out that morning, I was so excited about the pack out. Like I genuinely get fizzed up when you know that you're basically fucked.
And what is fizz, just for our American audience?
Excited.
Okay.
Like I was actually excited for the Suckfest that
We
day.
all were. That's what made it fun.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like, dude,
it's-
we're doing this like one shot.
Like multiple times I've been in positions where it's like we are so far beyond any sort of comfort, and then it sort of gets you a bit jacked up and excited. I think that lasted maybe an hour.
Deep in that
and
pain cave.
and then I was in the mindset of just like let's get out of
One
here.
foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Just keep going. This sucks. Yep. Keep going. Yep. This sucks.
And,
Yep,
and
keep
we
going.
also took a gamble on the trail that we took as well. We didn't know if it was going to work, but leading up to that, well, like shortcuts never work. But it wasn't really a shortcut, but it was a gamble on trying to take an easier route out.
It was a
and it
gamble on
worked.
less elevation and less deadfall. And man, it worked. It never works. We tried to take a shortcut on the way in. Did not work.
Somehow everything was lined up for us on that hunt.
Yeah.
Even till when we got to the end and I hitchhiked the ride.
Yeah.
Even like the whole stars.
We came
line,
out
everything.
way lower than our trailhead, like way lower, making a gamble on. His pack was like 115, 120 with the head. My pack was like 110. Your pack was 100 at least.
Yeah.
Just because you had neck and the
Back
good old New
sides,
Mexico
tenderloins.
rules with the 80% neck meat, you know. You had that in the prime cuts, plus your 70-something pound pack.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got my revenge that day. You
Yeah.
guys had the heavier packs, but
We had a hind and a quarter each camp. We had a hind and a front each camp. I had his bow. He had the head. I mean, it was like
That's a lot of weight.
We're not going to talk about what packs we used, but we all broke buckles. It was just one of those things. Yeah. We all had to tie off straps on
That's
other.
a lot of weight for any pack, though.
And especially like, and then doing a couple hours of the deadfall and just like those weird angles, you know, like where you're hunched over and this and that puts the packs in some interesting places. But we all broke buckles. We all had to tie off straps places. But man, we made that gamble on the trail and it worked. Thank God it worked. When we hit that trail and it was like a brand new trail system sign, because we had a couple hours before we hit a trail. We were so far off the trails. And then when we saw that in the meadow and like the bolts that are in the sign didn't even have rust on them yet. And I'm like, oh, buddy, like this is Labor Day. Like this, they did this on Labor Day weekend. Like we're cruising. Like, holy shit. We all laid down in the meadow there for a second, like, oh my God, it's going to work. And it was just the cleanest, nicest trail.
That's the greatest feeling when you hit those.
And then
nice
we came
trails.
out, I don't know, we came out thousands of feet lower than the original trailhead and like way off the path. I'm like, Omar, your job is I don't like talking to people. I'm an introvert. I can't stand it. I hate talking to strangers. I'm like, Omar, you have to hitch a ride and go get our truck.
Somehow this was planned before.
Yeah,
I even
Lorenzo and I had already talked about it, but like, you know, in case we couldn't hitch a ride, it was still Omar that was going to run.
Yep.
Which is fair. I killed it. It was my hunt. Yeah, it's fair.
And it would have taken
Goggins
him,
Jr.
Yeah, it would have taken him an extra hour and a half, 2 hours to get to the truck. But like we volunteered him to either find a ride or hike to the truck, and him and I were just going to lay there and get fat by the river at the truck.
So at this point, did you ever think like Omar's never coming back? Because you describe this town you guys were at earlier.
Yeah,
It's like very sketchy town. Like
Yeah.
Omar's going to meet some mountain cave troll.
we met some very nice gentlemen from Texas,
Okay, they're nice. That's good.
Well,
and
I remember seeing the truck, and it was like an older diesel F-250, I think.
yeah, F-250.
And I remember in my head like stereotyping. I was like, "Oh, this is my opportunity here. If there's anyone's gonna give me a ride, and I'm coming
You're
up
a
the
true
mountain in
American
blood."
stereotype.
I'm like, these are the boys.
Yeah, and they were good, solid dudes.
That's good.
So I honestly wasn't worried. If it was like some of the other vehicles we saw, yeah, I'd be very worried. But these guys were, I mean,
Super
Texas good dudes, like ranch hand kind of guys. And so he brought the trucks back, and we're like, dude, this is awesome. Got out of there. I'm like, okay, cool. This will be the very short part of the podcast. All right, let's drive. We'll get some food in the town, and then that closest town, we'll get some food, eat like some real food.
Is this the pizza part?
No.
Okay.
Like, let's get some real food, and we'll just bomb to my hunt unit. It's really not that far, but the way to get in there, a lot of dirt roads and really shitty roads. It was a solid 3.5 hours, 4 hours to get to.
Yeah. But remember sitting in that restaurant where like, how many people you think in this restaurant packed the animal out today? Or like 0.
Or in the town, like that style of pack out.
We're just riding this awesome
wild high.
Yeah.
We were on such a high with the whole situation. And then the kill footage too is like that stand where we call this bull in 4 different times, and it's like on film. And it's just beautiful lighting because the sun's back on the other side of the mountain. And it's like this bull screaming and growling, jumping these logs. And like we're all talking about it and watching on his little camera, like watching the kill shot. We're like riding such a high. I'm like, all right, let's just bomb to my unit. We get to where I wanted to camp at the truck. My unit's very different. Roads everywhere. Very broken country. Not like any big place to hunt. Very, very like 800 to 1,000 foot gain to a ridge, then 800 to 1,000 foot loss to the bottom. And it's just constant of that. It's like, okay, we just got to find some bugles and call them. And that's what we're thinking. Get to my hunt unit at like 1:30. I'm like, we're going to sleep in, and we'll get our gear situated, get all of our gear dried out from that, pack out everything, get the blood dried out, and we'll start hunting at like 2 p.m. I wake up at 8 a.m, and there's a bull right behind our truck bugling his fucking head off like every 30 seconds. I'm like, dude, you guys hear that? There's a bull right behind us. Like, now we're riding this high, you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, e-scouting paid off. We're in the right spot. And Cam's like, hey, by the way, I had to relieve myself this morning at 5 a.m. because we just ate real food for the first time in a while. And he had his first batch of hatch green chilies from New Mexico.
Nice.
So he had a little rumbly stomach. And he's like, yeah, I was so tired. I wasn't going to tell you, but he was bugling at 5 this morning. I'm like, thanks, bro. Like,
Could have got up.
appreciate it. So anyways, we kind of listened to where he went. And I'm like, cool, that's where we'll go knock off that tonight. Like, that's a big day hunt. But I think we can crush it. If we leave at noon today, like we can get it done and kind of either kill this bull or get into some elk and either knock it off the list or bivvy out there and spike out if there's elk. Do we go out there? Not one bugle, nothing, no elk. We hear one faint bugle at 4:30. And it's one of those ones where we're like, oh, cool, they're going to start firing up, right? Like just heard that bull bugle this morning, 4:30. Cool, they're going to start firing up. Here we go. Sit down. Listen, nothing. Hour goes by, nothing. Like, well, best way to kill a bull sometimes is just eat, rest. So that's what we did. Nothing. And then finally I'm frustrated. I'm like, that bugle came from that ridge. Let's go. So we go over there. Somehow, by complete happenstance, the bull catches my eye at like 80 yards in the trees. And it's a good bull, like, little 5-point bull. And no calling, no bugles, no cows. Nothing. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, do I cow call? Do I, it's one of those bulls just being dead silent. I end up cow calling, nothing. just looks around, cow calling, nothing. He works down into this bottom. We go try to cut him off. Can't cut him off. So loud in there with all the pine needles, and it's like that live timber pine needle stick breaking.
Yep.
So loud, and it's in these deep canyons, so like everything reverberates. And then over the next 2.5 days, we did 60 miles of 50, like high 50s in miles.
Yeah.
Of 800 foot gain, 800 foot loss, 800, just making these big loops. No elk, no calling, no nothing.
I was about to say, I think you're giving this part of the hunt too much time.
I was just that's what we led into. I just wanted everyone to think like we thought we were going to do good.
Ouch.
It was the most shit elk hunt I've been on. No question. Like these things were just, it was like still hunting dark timber for mule deer is what it was like.
You just want to poke your eyes out.
Yeah. And it's just like, okay, well, this isn't what I'm here for. And, I've been out of the office for 8 days, away from my family, 9 days now, right? Like, this is stupid. Oh no, that wasn't that point. Sorry. We hunted that for 2.5 days, and it was just nothing. And then I'm like, you know what? We're at the very west side of this unit. Let's go to the very east side. Maybe it's different in the low country, in the desert. Maybe it's different. We go over there. No bugling, no nothing. And we did I'll let you guys, the scrub. I've been talking so much. I'm sure everyone's frustrated with me talking, but you can tell them the hike that we did the last day.
It was dog shit.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
It was just prickly, thick, crap, hot. Now I started to understand why sometimes you wear pants. Like we were getting torn up just getting up there. Get up there, turns out we're right on the edge of the unit, can't even go further. Hear a bull bugling, but out of where we can hunt, so we're like, let's try drop down to this track that we can see on the map.
In a private thing, like can't hunt them, not going to call them off.
So we literally climbed up there just to, like, I don't know if we were just...
Sit the border.
Yeah, we were just starting to slip up, I guess. Like, we should have looked up there and been like, well, we can't do anything once we get up there. So anyway,
it was a Hail Mary plan.
Yeah, went up there, ended up by dropping down to this track, back through just all of this thick shit. So it was over the backside of a ridge that we couldn't see into, and we're like, hopefully it's better than the way that we came up. Nah, just as bad.
It's all that like canopy height scrub brush. My bow is destroyed. My pants are destroyed. We all have cuts all over our hands.
Yeah, you guys have cuts everywhere.
Very destroyed, by the way.
My pants are very destroyed.
Gosh,
and
sounds brutal.
Dude, it was the most dog shit hike. It's not even like the fun physical. It's like the one where you're stuck in scrub brush for hours on end. You can't see 10 feet in front of you because it's all canopy over your head height. Mm-hmm. Everything on you is getting caught in the branches and all this shit. You know, my bow just took an absolute beating. My poor bow. And all of us are beat up, scratched up. Like, we get down to the bottom. This is 3 days of hunting my unit and hearing 3 bugles.
Yeah, nothing. And, like, not the style that we, like, want to hunt, too, right? Like,
yeah.
We just came off of, we could walk 10 miles that way, still be in this country that we want to be in, walk 10 miles south.
Receptive elk.
Yeah.
This is one of those units. There's so many roads. Everyone just drives roads and calls. It's like, so these bulls, they don't make noise. They bugle one time just to let their cows, whatever, and then they shut up for 3-4 hours. It's like, it's just one of those. And so anyways, that's after 3 days of hunting that. Now we've been away from the office and my family for 9 days. And I'm like, I made the executive decision, like, look, this isn't what I hunt elk for. I'm not trying to get lucky and kill a 5-point bull off a road with no pack out. Like, this is not what I'm here for. I don't really give a shit about that. I like calling an elk. I like doing all this stuff. So let's go to town, get some food, and I'm bombing home. Like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And so we went to Domino's.
Yeah, there wasn't much open. So we did a little reconnaissance.
I saw the pizza. You guys were gorging yourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Omar's like, it's a rare occasion. Lorenzo's eating pizza. I'm like, bro, after a hike like that, I'll eat a fucking piece of cake right now. I don't give a shit.
And then meanwhile, I'm trying to call Domino's, and like Lorenzo rolls his window up, and Cam's like, is he in a bad mood or something? I was like, he's probably just talking to his wife or something. Like, he's fine. And because he was like, order the pizza, like, and then we'll drive over to Domino's. Like, I'm gonna make a phone call, but like, he was trying to surprise us.
Yeah, I did surprise you.
Yeah, he surprised us. Kind of, because we couldn't get one in that specific town that we're in.
That's true. We had to drive a little bit. I got him a hotel. I got us hotel room so we could shower.
Yeah.
It had been 9 days and we were tore up.
So we got the Domino's, and Lorenzo was like, well, I was trying to surprise you guys, but all the hotels in this town that we're in are booked up. The nearest one is, an hour and a half or whatever it was drive. And me and Cam were like, we'll go. Like,
shower in a bed, let's roll.
Yeah, like, let's drive. And he's like, you guys don't mind? I was like, nope, we're down. So yeah, we drove over there, and at this point it's the end of the hunt and everything, and I have this school in the back of my truck, and I'm telling him
he was not letting them crackheads get a piece of that.
No. And I'm telling him, like, I'm bringing this bull in. I don't think you guys believed me, but
I didn't believe you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm bringing this bull into the hotel. Until we actually got out of our trucks and like locked up our stuff, like mine, like gear and everything's in the truck. At this point, hunt's over. Something gets stolen, I'll just get it. I'll buy something and have it for the next year. But one thing that is coming with me into that hotel is clean clothes and that rack.
Yeah.
So I'm walking in this hotel,
checking in. The guy's like looking at him. I'm like, don't worry about it.
I didn't even notice the smell because we were sharing a room, and I think I was just so used to stink. All my nostrils were destroyed from Lorenzo's feet.
My feet were so rank.
Honestly, we could smell Lorenzo's feet when we were walking 5 meters behind him.
My feet were rank.
Stinky feet guy.
Oh, it was horrible. It's horrible.
I want to ask a question. We're doing like the kind of these segments of like MVPs, most valuable products, but I kind of want to just ask you on the podcast if you would like elaborate what was your most valuable products from the hunt.
My boots, those Mammut Tice Mid GTX.
Yeah, those are snazzy.
First time I've worn Mammut, and holy shit, I'm in love. And then those Sig Zulus.
I think Brady knows those.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm glad more people are starting to see the light.
The Sig Zulus. For me, I shake like a leaf. Glassing makes me dizzy with all the shaking.
Yeah.
All that. I've used them now on when I killed that buck with my family on this hunt, and then just over the weekend I was helping my dad on an elk hunt that he had. Also in love, like absolutely in love.
Oh, your dad likes them?
No, I like them.
Yeah.
But it's just, dude, they're so handy. Just having that locked in, stable view, pick up every time, every point. Tripod. Yeah, it's
basically
unbelievable. And then the approach hoodie. Like, I'm biased. I designed it. I don't really give a shit. But that thing is, I literally use it for everything.
Yeah.
Did it stink much in the end?
0.
That's insane. That's
Zero.
real good.
Didn't stink at all.
And you were wearing that through the
every day.
Scrub?
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. That's really impressive then.
And it didn't get that tore. It didn't get as tore up as my pants did.
Yeah, exactly.
Good tough gear. Go hunt approach.
But yeah, that was for sure it. But yeah, we rode such a high into such a low. And it was good for Omar. It was good for Omar to see that because it put it in perspective.
Yeah, it does.
Bro, you just killed a 6-point bull. A 6-point bull. Like, it ain't a raghorn. It's a 6-point bull. And called him in. Had the cyclone of rut just swallowed up by it.
Yep.
And it's like, now you see the other side of what elk hunting can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, like, to experience that.
Yeah.
And, I think it just brings more appreciation into what we just came off of and not expecting that every September.
Yeah.
That somehow got lucky and had a...
It was a special tag you got.
Yeah.
It was a very special tag.
Yeah.
Magic of September.
Oh, it was magical.
Now it's gone, and now I'm already planning next year.
Yeah.
Crazy. Now I'm depressed.
Now it's like kind of hunting seasons. There's a lot of hunting left.
Yeah.
It's like we're in research mode again.
Yeah. How long we've been going? 2:30. I wanna make one point for me, right? It's like, what I guess I was the guide, mentor. What'd you call it for the film script?
The guide.
Yeah. Not that I was like guiding him by any means, but like I was the, I guess I was the lead, right? My spot, my everything.
The experience
I'd
person.
been there before, so I'm trying to tell him all this stuff. I am so goddamn nervous and scared. Like, and I'm not ashamed to admit I am scared of stone sheep with my bow. And it's like such a monumental animal to hunt, such a special animal to hunt. I don't take it for granted that I have the opportunity to hunt one, right? Mm-hmm. And so I honestly feel I feel more unprepared mentally than ever because the task at hand is so monumental.
It is. Yeah.
So to go through that with Omar and like see that, and it puts me back in that mindset of like, okay, this is the first time he's done it, then he was capable of getting under control, and it's like, all right, like I got this. You know what I mean? It's like, so I took away from it too, even though, I was the lead or whatever you want to call it. But like,
Yeah.
dude, now I'm pulling from that now going into next week of like, I'm going to be in that situation, hopefully with a stone sheep at full draw.
That's
like
next
my
week.
dream of an animal to kill with a bow. It's like, it's going to be monumental for me.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I'm taking from Omar. Like he didn't settle his pin that first one, and he did punch it. Like I got
Yeah,
this,
you're learning a lot too at the
Yeah.
same time, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's like that. It has been in my head since that day of like, okay, I just experienced that, like a part of it. And that's going to be me here, and
Yeah.
hopefully
He's
in
been
like
dreaming about that experience the whole time.
6-7 days.
You've been dreaming about this forever.
Yeah.
You're both learning from each other at the same time, taking tips and tactics, and
Yeah,
then you're getting thrown back in.
yeah. Like his process. I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I do that. Got to make sure I do that. It's wild. It's crazy how shit works like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stoked
I can't
for
wait
you.
to see the film.
Same.
Did we film it?
Yeah, we've got some real cool shit.
Yeah.
And with any filming, if you put on a good adventure, then it makes for a good film. That's like the basics. You can only do so much with what you've got. So as long as the adventure's good and your cameraman hits record, then these guys.
Did you hit record?
Yeah,
A few times?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even after Omar's kill, they were like, "Did you film that?" I was like, "What the fuck do you think I'm here for?" of course I filmed it.
That literally happened to Omar. Goes, did you get that? He's like, the fuck am I here for?
Yeah. It's a good cameraman right there. Always recording.
Cam's the best.
But it is hard. Like there's one thing, like the hunter, they can miss, have their fuck ups. That's hunting. If the cameraman doesn't get the shot, then
Yeah,
that's
what we said on the
you're
mountain
treated like
too.
the scum of the earth.
The cameraman is the kicker.
Yeah.
On a football team, running back's allowed to fumble, quarterback's allowed to throw an interception, kicker do not miss.
Yeah.
like you are not allowed to miss.
It's kind of true.
Yeah, which that pressure's fun.
Yeah,
And you try to pick your spots, and you try to judge where an animal's going to come in, and you do your best. But
Yeah.
for us, this happened to work out pretty well. But
yeah.
it's not the reality half the time.
We got a few more days too to hang out with Cam.
He leaves tomorrow.
Cam's a
Is
stud.
tomorrow?
Leaves tomorrow.
Yep.
I got one question for you.
Okay.
I've been dying to ask this the whole time this podcast.
Yeah.
From New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Hobbiton, where they filmed the Lord of the Rings?
Bro, Lord of
Brady
the Rings,
J.
man.
I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah,
I
don't
got
ruin
no.
New Zealand.
about it.
So I've never been to
Why not?
Hobbiton. I'm not that interested in it. But other locations that we do hunt are other scenes from Lord of the Rings, and they're fucking beautiful. Like Central Otago, that's all those like rolling tussock hills with the big rocky features.
yeah.
Stunning there. I don't know what the castle's called, but the castle that's on top of the big mountain that they run and hide to. It's like
Never
big.
seen it.
Oh,
Wouldn't
okay.
know.
No, it's definitely not Mordor. Sometimes shit actually does look like Mordor when the sun sets. But we do hunt near some of the locations from Lord of the Rings. So
I
That's your dream.
I said ask. I want to go there eventually.
That's your dream.
Someday in my
Now I'm
life.
thinking about it. He kind of who's the character in Lord of the Rings? One of the character, like the main one.
Sam?
not one
Sam?
of the hobbits, I hope.
Yeah, one of the hobbits. You
Fuck.
kind of,
I was hoping you were going to say Legolas or some shit. But
I mean, he's cool. You're
yeah.
cool.
I mean, he is short like a hobbit.
Oh,
He does
wow.
pack a lot of weight like a hobbit. Does he eat like a hobbit? Like 17 times a day, having some food?
No,
I
it
made him eat
doesn't
like
eat.
a hobbit.
Yeah.
I packed in a shitload of food for him.
This was the most I've ever eaten on a hunt. Holy, I've definitely learned a thing or two about what to eat on a hunt.
Yeah, and we were like,
we're way more casual back in NZ. It's like buy your salami, buy your cheese, get a wrap, happy days, packet of lollies, and you're pretty much good. Because
Lollies or gummies. by
Okay,
the
I
way.
didn't know that. I was,
yeah, candy, whatever you call it. Because I explained to these
Not
guys,
lollipops. They're candy.
is when a hunt sucks. It just sucks. So you don't know if it's because your body hasn't been fed well enough. But on this one, it was amazing to see how much I should actually be eating.
yeah, and he, I think you understood like what all these calories mean. And then by the end, like he was like, I dumped my lollies. Like I'm eating the whole calories that you gave me here. Like,
yeah, and I wasn't craving gummy bears. Like my one request for food was like some gummy bears. So I packed in, like it felt like a kilo, 2 pounds of like it was 2 big bags of gummy bears. But at no point was I craving them because I was so full on shit that was actually good for me. Yeah.
It's amazing how that works.
Yeah. I might just go back to gummy bears back in New Zealand, but
Yeah.
unless you guys can send me over some waffles.
oh yeah, he loves the little waffle stingers.
Oh yeah.
Like
honey stingers are so great.
He came over to my house. It's
like crack.
He saw them in the pantry, and like he's eating like he's
eating them here in the office.
Yeah, he's eating them.
And
He probably
in the
just had
office,
one.
I'm stealing those.
He literally
waffles.
poked his head into Porter's office. He goes, "Hey, what's the deal with the wall, the little packets of wafers back there?" I'm like, "Eat them.
That's for hunts only.
Been eating those at the office."
You're eating all of them. I'm proud of you for expanding your horizons and learning some great new backpacking food.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll run it back again next year.
Yeah.
So,
That was,
anyways, sorry for talking so much. But oh well.
You
no,
got
that was-
excited.
it sounds like a fun hunt. You guys learned a lot, had a crazy adventure. Like you said, you had a shit ton of memories in a short period of
Oh, it
time
was awesome.
because you put yourself in a cool place.
Yeah. All I can think about now is I want to be back, but I gotta wait a whole nother 365 days to
Is
make it
that
happen
hard?
again.
And if some Kiwis end up by listening to this, like, yeah, American hunters do it true. Because
Thank
like
you.
we've got a
Appreciate that.
bad
USA.
perspective of like American hunters back home, and then just coming back doing a trip like this was like, yeah, it's the real deal shit over here.
We like to hear that. I always look at them thinking the same thing. So
Yeah.
Dude, it's the real deal shit over there for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and capturing struggle, that's always hard because when you're struggling, the last thing you want to do is pull out a
Exactly.
camera or even your iPhone, film all the shit parts, like
yeah, stick it in
Gen-
someone's face too, and they're on the downside because they just missed
Yeah.
the bull.
Yeah,
and-
like understandably, we usually show the best parts of a hunt, which is like once you got an animal down or you're in a real cool location, but you don't see all the struggles. So to come over
Yeah.
here and actually sweat it through, then yeah.
Yeah, he sorry. One more thing. We've tried to end this thing like 4 times now, but he goes, that other film you guys did on this hunt, you made it look way too easy. Like, this is way harder than what that film shows. And I was like, yeah, dude, it's hard to make a film show
Yeah,
what it
through,
is.
through the burn, like if you go back and watch it, just understand that it's fucking tough getting in there. Like, I think you guys dedicate like 5 shots where you're looking happy, cruise past the camera. That was not the reality.
But that's why I like these podcasts. They're talking about the
truth of
upcoming
it,
hunt
yeah.
film. Like there's a lot that you just can't capture, or it's hard to show the struggle, but you can hear it through you guys' voices, like the pain, what you went through, emotional roller coaster, like
Yeah.
all that. And that makes it's a hunt.
And
Rob?
through and through print,
Yeah.
you got to believe I'm plugging the magazine. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hunter's Journal.
yeah,
And
that's
plug
the
it.
one. Honestly, I genuinely think it's the best hunting magazine that has come out on this planet. It's core, but it's beautiful. Like we design stuff well. The paper is phenomenal. You've got to hold it. The imagery is incredible. The way that people tell stories is great, but there's a lot of dead shit in there. So
What kind of publication is it? How often?
we generally do it quarterly. This year we've done 2, just been under the pump, but yeah, generally 4 a year. And it's like, I think it's 128 pages of just
Dude,
the
that's-
beautiful matte
How does
paper.
somebody find Hunter's Journal or subscribe to it?
Just jump on the website. So we don't do subscriptions to the US just because of postage. So you can order them one-off or order them in bulk. But then just for the day-to-day sort of shit that we do or the highlights, then Instagram, that's the
Worth to check out.
that's the
Hunter
best
Journal.
way to keep on top of it.
Yeah.
And that's the Hunter's Journal.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, we'll add you to our close friends, and then you can see the real behind the
shit.
scenes.
Love it.
I like it. I got a few plugs we got to do as
Okay.
well. So we're talking about right now. It's end of September. We're talking about doing some research already. It's crazy to think that. So there still is a lot of time right now. Like Omar's probably going to start researching some elk hunts for next year. Jump on over. Get yourself an insider membership. Use promo code podcast, as everyone should know. Use promo code podcast. You're going to get 50 points back to the GOHUNT gear shop. That's $50 you can turn around and spend on and buy some gear. And you can use GOHUNT maps. I know you guys just released a great maps tip the other day, how you're like locating bugles and using the rangefinder tool to drop bugles. Like that's a use case I never thought of before. That's really sweet about using GOHUNT maps in the field while you're hunting. Here's some bugles. Figure out distance probably those elk are. Mark that. and now you have a plan of attack. It's
Yep.
pretty cool. So there's still a lot
It
of
worked
hunting.
really well for us on that.
Yeah, still a lot of hunting opportunities. We have a lot of like leftover tag stuff still, and you got some other opportunities coming up that you need to do some research. So start diving in Insider, check out GOHUNT maps, use it in the field this season. And also, September 30th is the deadline for the Mexicoos
Ooh,
giveaway.
going to Mexico, boys.
I've
love that video.
I got back from my moose hunt, and I saw that one ad of Omar wearing the long hair.
Mm-hmm.
That was a gem.
That's a great one.
I'm so glad we did that one.
Cam was on Instagram. We had just got back into service, and he's like, the first time I timed him is you in a wig.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I
as
know
soon
what
as
you're
I
talking
opened my phone, I saw that.
That's
and
a
I was
great.
like,
That's a great one.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm telling you, this hunt's incredible. I can't wait. So whoever wins it, buckle up, man. Get ready.
How do
Yes.
people enter into that hunt?
Yeah,
Brady?
so you have until September 30th. So by the time this podcast goes out, you have a couple days. But yeah, you sign up for GoHunt Insider membership, you get 150 points. Every $1 you spend in the GoHunt Gear Shop is one entry. You sign up for Outdoor Class, you get 100 entries. So use promo code podcast, get that $50. You're also going to get 150 entries. Win-win. All current insiders also getting 150 entries, I believe. So it's an awesome opportunity. Go to Mexico, hunt with the GoHunt crew, having a great time.
and you'll fly me back over when I win.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Exactly. Yep. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on right now. We have a lot of cool things in the works, and yeah, I can't wait to check out this film.
Gonna be a good one.
I'm excited. It's
gonna
cool.
be-
It's gonna be weird.
It's the other thing. This lucky shithead not only kills his first big game animal, but he also has it on film. Like how
that's-
special is
how
that?
cool is that?
I'm,
That is cool.
I'm literally pinching myself.
So it's
Like,
awesome.
I honestly, I don't want to make this more longer, but like, call my mom. You know, my mom's always worrying about me. I'm literally moved, ditched my family, not ditched, but like, you know, decided to chase
leave your
my
family,
chase
yeah.
my career. You know, similar to what you did
Yep.
years ago. You know, do what I want to do. And I call my mom, and she's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Good." She's like, "No, like, tell me how you're actually doing." I'm like, "Mom, I am living my dream right now.
Yep.
Like, I have an amazing opportunity that I, you know, am so lucky to be like the one to, you know, do this. And like, you know, it's Mom, I'm fine. It's just
checking
know
up
that.
on you.
Like, God is good, and I'm having a good time."
Guy's
So,
stoic. Even his mom knows. He's not telling his full feelings.
Yeah. I mean, we have some other really cool things too coming up, and we have a big maps release. We're
We do have a
dropping
big
here.
maps release.
Yep. So stay tuned for that.
Yes.
It's going to be some big updates on the mobile app.
Yep.
You guys are going to want to check it out. We've been testing it, using it. It's badass. We might have
awesome.
hinted it before, but
It's baller, as you would say.
yeah,
Baller.
straight baller.
Straight
baller. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Cam, what a legend.
Thanks for
I'm
having
kind
me.
of sad I haven't didn't get to hunt with you. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna run
Yeah,
it
we'll
back.
make that happen.
Yeah.
You bunch of
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have to bleep that one out.
No, they can say that over there in New Zealand.
That's the one where we drew the line.
That's
No, they can
that's
say
a
that over
positive
there.
connotation right there. But
Yeah.
I thought I'd just give us an excuse to end it.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
good job.
Since you guys are struggling.
All right, we out.
Buddy.